Hello there. My name is Sloan, aka Art Plebe, and you're watching Strange Hungers on Total Party Kiss. Strange Hungers is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition horror campaign. It details the secret history of the infamous Fulcrum Expedition, and is played in the homebrew world of Senelji. Join us as our characters venture deep into an icy wasteland and discover the secrets of the chaos at the borders of their world. Please be aware, this campaign includes themes of body horror, trans and queer experience, religion, violence, and loss of agency. As such, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's meet our players. Kiara is an Aasimar Warlock Cleric multiclass and is played by Pooja. Pooja is an attorney and TTRPG player, writer, and streamer. You can find her on Twitter at Pooja and on Twitch and Instagram at Poojabberwocky. Barden is a half-orc barbarian and is played by Shan Benian. Shan is a freelance illustrator and comic artist whose work has been featured in the Adventure Zone Crystal Kingdom graphic novel and the Alleyman's Tarot. You can find them on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at AnonBDraws. Owesh is a snow elf wizard and is played by Sarah Chafee. Sarah is a TTRPG content creator and performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at SarahIsCoffee, also everywhere else on the internet. Tazriel is a tiefling orc rogue and is played by VJ Harris. VJ is a platinum best-selling DMs Guild author, as well as DM, TikToker, and writer. You can find him on Twitter and TikTok at VJHCreations. Matthias is a human paladin and is played by Sloan Smith. Sloan is a stream producer, graphic designer, and TTRPG performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at ArtPlebe. And finally, Strange Hungers is written and DM'd by Alex Teplitz. Alex is a writer, game master, and TTRPG designer. You can find him on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and on TikTok at Aldermancy, as well as creating games on Ko-fi and itch.io at SwordGhost. Once again, our content warning. This stream will feature content including body horror, trans and queer experience, violence, religion, and loss of agency. Safety tools are in place for our players, and we can stop the stream at any time in the interest of their safety. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now, on with the show.
Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hunters. Last we left off, our expedition party had fought against a band of gnolls. Unfortunately, lost in the chaos. A strange traveler was pulled into the river by these chaotic attackers, and his life was lost under the waves. Matthias plunged into the frozen waters to recover the body, and the expedition discovered there was no way to bring him back. After a brief respite of an hour, gathering their resources, healing, the party traveled onward, navigating their way through the woods of the Kvekdal archipelago to a more isolated camp spot further away from the commonly traveled trails that might be watched by the gnolls they had escaped from. In the evening, taking rests, various conversations between different party members, and especially between Vice and Tazriel, Matthias confided in Oesh that he felt a draw, a pull, a sense that the soul of the dead man would not rest easy, that he had to show him the way. And so, in the morning light, Markarth set out away from the expedition by himself, disappearing into the woods on the back of his steed. Fulcrum Expedition, you find yourselves in the morning light, surrounded by wooded forest, pine, snow-covered boughs. The lurking tiger has disappeared, leaving only a circular, melted path around your campsite, marking the borders where you were protected. Your Arkhams, having rested for the evening, can be resaddled onto your cart. Your horse, Arav, has been foraging some of the grass that barely manages to make its way through the snow. But so far, it seems to be a clear day. So, as you gather for breakfast, some of which is some of the dried owlbear meat from the previous day, what do you do, Expedition Party?
Quick, everyone just starts screaming and running around in a circle. We don't have a leader.
Well, Kara's kind of bummed. So she's probably hanging out with Novel Barden, being bummed.
We're gonna be fine. Like, you know. And he's gonna be fine. He's a big, strong boy. He's fine.
Can't die.
He's got a giant owlbear.
Were you not there when he died before? And, has a tendency to do really stupid things?
He'll come back.
I don't think we should take this opportunity with our esteemed leader having left to insult his intelligence.
I'm just saying, well, is it insulting his intelligence or just being... He's very smart, he just makes silly choices. That's not a lack of intelligence, right?
He survived out here in the waste by himself before he ever met us.
He's in
Took the words out of my mouth.
When Matthias truly puts his mind to a task, he can accomplish it.
It would have been easier if we all just went with him, is all I'm saying. Probably faster, too.
Sounds like he's going somewhere we can't follow.
I suspect as much.
Growing up, they were saying there were places in the palace that you couldn't go, but some of us just took that as a challenge.
I don't think that's quite the same. But
Just saying.
We flash cut to an image of Kiara like creaking open this and like elaborate enamel inlaid door just set with like rubies and gemstones, and there's just fire, like an actual crack to the elemental plane of fire, and Kiara's like, ooh, and then someone shuts the door.
The fire room.
Yep. You know,
Careful.
the fire room. Classic.
Every house has a fire room.
Yeah, they
Wait,
go
I was
toast
just like, so
marshmallows
where's your
over
fire
it.
room?
How do you heat the entire palace otherwise?
It's like the equivalent of a powder room. The fire room.
I mean,
It's
if
furnace.
Abjor wasn't the balmiest place ever, I mean, I suppose you have occasional cold, rainy days, even in the temperate valley. It's always a perfect temperature.
Well, you see, you could also heat water with it. It's just geothermal energy, but extra planar.
Yeah.
Perfect. Also,
Um,
Barton just kind
oh.
of nudges Kiara, just like, I think we would have been gotten on a lot as kids, sneaking around. Where we
Do you
shouldn't.
think that's why we're here?
Probably.
Did all of us have a tendency to stick our noses where they shouldn't be?
I was a perfect child.
So yes. Looks at Dad.
It's what's so funny is that at this point, Awish is always just assumed to being sarcastic or lying. So when they say something true, people are like, "Ah, that's not right."
Exactly. Kiara was like, okay, yeah, well, that's your version of saying.
You foolin'.
It's not a denial. Being perfect does not mean not sticking your nose where it should be.
Absolutely hilarious that Sig is taking Matthias's commandment to like tell the truth, and no one believes them.
Everyone's like, "Sure, Awish,
This is pure.
you were a good kid."
Uh-huh. You
I think-
followed rules.
I could believe that.
Be surprised.
Nope. I stayed out of trouble. I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to. Little shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there. Then Vice just like,
I must admit, I did get into some rows when I was younger, but I think the chaos I caused might be more related to some of the border scuffles. No matter how associated with Bane the raise is, there are still some coals you can lay under their asses that cause a reaction. I used to prank soldiers.
Taz just has like a
Love
look of
that.
like deep appreciation and is so curious about what these pranks are. It's like,
Me? Yeah. Kiara as well. Kiara's like, what? Kiara's like, pranks? I'm in.
I would be interested in hearing about those. I don't think that's a good idea.
in general or in present company, because I think whatever you're going to say is hilarious.
Pranks performed in the wastes can be a waste of time and energy. You have to conserve your calories out here.
I did some
But she's
pranks on
smiling.
some soldiers.
Really?
Yes.
Will you tell us
What's our
about them?
next step?
Neve looks crestfallen.
Aww.
It's not too crestfallen.
No, yeah. Always knows how to thread the needle.
I don't want to assume things. Our leader is gone. Somebody should step in. I do have experience doing so, but that is not me saying it should be me, or how it should happen.
Why?
We said
Why?
next steps.
Right, and now I'm asking why that's the necessary next step, that we choose an additional leader.
That's what I was assuming you meant by next
Yeah, I
steps,
mean-
because that's what.
I
Stuff
thought
like
you
we're
meant
gonna
point
follow
a
the path
direction
up.
and let's walk.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty simple thing to do. I'm not sure if we can mess it up too badly.
But
I mean, I've got a map.
follow
And
them up
Vice
and keep
knows the
going.
way. We can just walk.
I
Okay. Something
Don't
big
look at
happened.
me.
We'll all defer to you.
that's
alright?
not what I.
You want to be the big man.
That's not what. Listen, in another situation like this.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it. Tazrael,
I swear.
you feel special because you're now the tallest. Is that
I was always the tallest. I'm still taller than Matthias.
I can
Oh,
be
I
the
hadn't- I
tallest,
hadn't
but I don't
noticed.
want to lead.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. In a previous situation like this, that was the next step, and then we kept going. This is fine. Let's just walk.
well? The race always needs someone to defer to. You know,
Mhm.
tiers and
Don't-
hierarchies.
I mean, aren't you always going on and on about how that's terrible? So let's just not do that and go.
Well,
EJ, I'm
Todd's
so
having a great
sorry.
time watching
You
this.
went for it, and I was like, I'm gonna
I'm
go
here for it. It's fine.
full
Let's go.
speed right at the beginning.
Mhm. I
Tazrael,
knew
like,
this was coming.
raised his hand so timidly, and then everyone in the party went.
So nicely too. Not even like I'm in charge. Like, hey,
I was expecting him to go for the full "I'm in charge."
absolutely not. With these guys, fuck no.
Okay.
Look, if things happen,
We'll
we'll
be fine.
decide. But
Yep.
until then, I think
We can just
all
walk.
be in charge of our own feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all can be in charge of our own feet, and then we divide tasks based on who's good at them, the way we always have.
Yeah.
Which means I don't do the looky thing. I'm not good at that.
I'll do the looky. It's fine. We should just get going, though, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
If we've got everything packed up.
Right.
I think so.
Nice.
Awashia's
Oh,
going
man.
to be especially perceptive on this journey, looking out to see if anyone, because now 2 people have said, like, oh, if we need it, we'll be a leader. So they're eagle eyes out, like, who's trying to vie for power? So I'm running a constant perception on that.
You're spending time looking at your party members.
We can get ambushed.
Dagger-eyed.
Because you're looking at
I
us,
have
looking at us.
the observant feat. I can pay attention to 2 things at once.
So you think?
Okay.
So you have traveled from Cersei. You are passing under the shadow of the stone serpent along this archipelago here. You're moving towards the main body of the continent of Valkyrie itself. And again, you're currently walking on actual continent, right? Like ground beneath your feet. The sort of like upper north sections of Valkyrie are actual ice sheet, but this is a continent that is just constantly cold. You are traveling towards Fierce Pass. This is a narrow, like, bead of land that then passes up into the Ulir Mountains. Sorry, the Gale Peaks, not the Ulir Mountains. And Fierce Pass is this sort of narrow band of land where the ocean, comes up into it, and there is a known dangerous section of water. So you said you were traveling along the coast based on Matthias's previous directions, so you would have like access to water and be able to see ships and anything like that. But I'm also assuming that because you are traveling with parts and horses and stuff, that generally traveling on roads or at least passages that have been cut out by travelers before is going to be a little bit easier. So, yeah, that all still sounds good.
Mhm.
Excellent. For the time being in this morning, you are able to follow mostly the coils of the stone serpent itself that Novel had seen from higher up, but you are being, I'll tell you sort of on a meta level, you are being pursued. So the difficulty of your checks for today, I'm adding both the cold and the difficulty of your location and the fact that you are being watched out for by enemies to the difficulty of the checks that you're making today.
Fuck those enemies.
Awesome.
So your travel DC for today is 15.
I can't guide on that check, can I?
Your guidance, that's more related to like a one-time moment.
Yeah.
These would be things like a group stealth rolls to see how you travel for today, if you're traveling stealthily, or and even on a perception check, I'll say it's the perception over the course of multiple hours, not just one moment.
Alex, can I say that Taz, while still paying attention, is like telling Neve about pranks he's pulled on cadets at the academy?
Neve seems to be quite eager to listen. Actually, I would love to get sort of a travel order. I know we have our cart with Matthias gone on a steed. You actually have a little bit more room. So is anyone traveling, like sitting on either of the yaks? Sorry, not the yaks. Either of the Arkhams. I have their names. Baro and Yaru, I think are the names. Yeah, Baro and Yaru and Arav. And then you have your sled updraft. So who's on the sled? Is anyone walking? Is anyone riding animals? What's up with that?
Unless anyone takes it, I'm riding on Hans. Arav.
Cool.
I'm on one of
Barden's
the
walking.
yacky things.
Okay.
Arden's walking because the animals don't like her.
That is true.
Rough.
Neve is probably in updraft, the sled.
Then yeah, I think Taz would be on. Boris is probably pulling up draft. Both of them.
Okay.
One of them.
Oh no.
How big are they? I think they're rideable.
Yeah, they're rideable. These are they're more furry on Multiverse than they actually look. These are very muscular animals. I would say they're kind of stag-like, actually, in nature, although they are kind of a combination of goat and
You should
stag.
send me the description so I can draw them at some point.
I have a picture actually. I don't have my book here. But it's from the wilderness thing, so I will send you a picture. And then they have these like horns that curve up, almost reaching into a circle like this, so you can actually hold on to their horns very easily.
Kiara will hold on to horns, and also at some point, some of the flowers that they have been braiding will start to adorn said horns.
Fantastic. All right, so we have Oash on horse, Arden walking, Neve is in the sled with the rest of your gear, and Taz and Vice are riding on these Arkhams. So this actually makes your travel much easier. You guys are just finding that there's like a little more room to maneuver now, and you're not having to carry as much on your backs. You're just less burdened, etc. It also helps that it's a clear day. So I am going to need I'll say that Vice and Tazriel, or one of you guys, can make an animal handling check to see how well behaved these Arkhams are. You've been traveling with them for, a couple of days now, but you are moving off of the beaten path per se, and these are in some ways wild animals. Yes.
Taz, are you good at animal handling?
I have a +0.
Okay, well, can Kiara handle too? Because Kiara's wise, and she's gonna talk to them all day.
Make them all day?
Yeah.
Fair enough. You said you're riding one, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sorry. Then Vice will be in the cart. And yes, you can definitely make that. If you want to make it with advantage instead of having Taz roll.
Okay. All right, that is a 17.
Excellent. That will beat your travel DC. It seems maybe just your sort of like continuous stream of talk is keeping them calm, but the two Arkhams are moving together. They're not like, stepping on each other or bickering or anything like that. Oash, you said you're keeping out watch?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I will make whatever necessary check.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
And actually, what pace are you guys traveling at? You could travel normal, fast, or slow. Slow allows you to add a +5 to a general group stealth.
Okay. So we know that we were attacked and one of those guys got away the last time.
2 of them, yeah.
2 of them got away. Would we as a group want to go slower to be stealthy and not get caught, or go faster and not be able to stealth to outpace them?
I'll say this: I want you to ask in character, Tazrael, since we have
Yeah.
leadership
Yeah,
as
yeah.
an issue.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Then I think right before we like get on the road, I think Taz will ask. So I think we have 2 options here. We know that 2 of the gnolls that we fought got away, and probably be on the lookout. So we can either go slower to try and stealth and lose their scent, or have them lose ours, or faster to try and outpace them. I think going slower might be the better option. I'm unsure of the sleeping nature of gnolls and whatnot, and they might already have a head start on us on finding us, and it might just be better to try and sneak past it.
I don't think we can outpace these things.
And
They are likely suited to the terrain.
And given how this is so many of our first time here, I'm worried that if we go fast, things could go wrong. I think being careful makes more sense right now. Plus, that way Matthias can catch back up without pushing himself too hard.
It can often be easier for one person to travel by themselves in the waste than a group. We do make an easier target.
Easier to find, at least.
All right.
Liam. Shall I do that pine tree trick we were doing before? You know, to cover up the sled's tracks. I can just walk behind and just scatter it a bit.
Sure, but still, it is important to conserve your strength. Doing that all day, your sword arm might get a bit tired.
Good.
Gotcha. Just ties a bit to their back. just walking behind them to...
So, using the travel pacing table in the D&D rules, you guys are moving slowly, so you're able to use stealth, which means I will take a group stealth check from all of you, so I need everyone to give me a stealth check, and I will allow you to guide one person on this, Kiara, if you want.
Awesome. And,
I will
okay.
probably guiding myself unless someone has a lower dex than me.
No, you're good. So stealth and also persuasion for me, correct? I mean perception?
Perception, yes.
Okay. Can I enlist the help of Darren for this role?
Sure. I'm gonna say that this is what Darren is doing all day then. Like, he can't do anything else if he makes this roll.
Baby, good job. Okay, stealth first. Oh no.
What did you get?
It's a group stealth check, right?
Yes. What did you get?
Not a natural one.
Yay!
I need 4 people to beat a 15 on this stealth check.
Okay.
All right, Kiara's good.
1 second.
Vice failed.
Vice! Why would you do this to us? 15.
Neve is included.
Okay.
Excellent. I will include Neve.
Oh my God, please.
Neve passed.
And I got 2 on the die, so a 4.
Okay. And I'm assuming that Tazrael is fine.
Oh yeah, I got a 26.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Keep in mind that if your sword is
Actually,
Nice.
mine's a
If your
17
sword is-
because...
Yes. Your sword does help you with stealth if it's dimmed.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, that is Vice and Awaish failed, but we have 4 successes, so your group stealth check passes.
Vice and Awaish are walking next to each other, and Vice unexpectedly or Awaish unexpectedly say something funny, and one of them like barks out laughter, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" All right.
I think
That's
Vice.
a dirty look.
I think Vice just seems distracted today, actually.
Aw. Sorry,
My
Vice.
grandson's not here.
Worried. For my
Worried about
perception,
baby.
I got a 19.
Excellent. That also passes your travel DC, which is great. For the first half of the day, you guys are traveling through difficult terrain. This is not necessarily like super, like muck or anything, but you're moving through dense forest. And again, I'm using some of the rules just from the DMG, so you do move slower in difficult terrain, which means per hour you guys are moving about a mile. Like it's slow going, it's tedious. It's about 100 feet a minute, just like trekking through this first half of the day. But since you've generally passed your travel DCs, I'm gonna need someone to roll a D4 for me.
That's a 3.
A 3. Excellent.
I was so excited to use my fancy dice that I forgot that it might mean death for us.
Sounds
Listen,
like D&D.
on a D4, people get stressed about a 1 and a 4. I feel like 2 and 3 are the options that people usually worry less about.
That might be the trick. That might be the trick.
I am going to pull us all over to another map, just so you know, Sarah.
Oh, shall I show it off for our strem?
One
Yeah.
fear.
I'm in danger.
All right, let me make sure that it looks nice. Oh,
I actually think I want a shirt like that. Like with the little one no fear meme, and then Alex, I'm moving us to a different map.
one fear.
And I'll pull us up a little higher.
Alex asked us to roll it.
Oh, there we go.
Just
All
I've
right.
made a little traveling in the wastes map. So we have a cute background for us. Excellent. This is a little bit more sparse than it actually is. There are a lot more pine trees and things that you guys are moving through. Oh. Boop, 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 boop. Lots of trees.
Oh, look at all those trees. It's like they're bursting
So
up
many
out of the
trees.
ground.
It's like they're blinking. Like
The
a
blink
blinking
forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a blinking forest would be cool.
Well, you should
can
check out the
find.
Confluence RPG that Shane and I work on. Okay, so yeah, we've got a little travel map here. And also, I think if I have multiverse set up correctly, you guys should be able to go in and like add assets. Yes. So if you go to the left side of your screen and pull a tab out, you can look up things like bedroll or food or whatever, and you can put things on your cart
Cute.
Nice.
if you want.
Put things in our little dollhouse and it's great.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we had that up, and also, I am gonna still have the music on.
Oh, cute.
There we go. Oh, those are a lot of bedroll.
Yeah!
Ebus.
Look, it's a Princess of the Peace situation. We've got a princess. Needs to be so comfy.
I think I accidentally did all that.
Totally cool. It's honestly fun to play around with, and as we're traveling, I feel like it's a nice opportunity to like use the map and use the tools and just mess around with them as you like. So you spend the majority of the first day just slogging through. As I said, pretty clear day. You're still at that 1 on the cold scale, so at some points, just through the exertion of traveling, like you can, take off a layer and let the cold air just kind of blow over you and cool off the sweat on you, and then put your hoods back up. Your magically enchanted clothing, it isn't like a constant heat charm, like they will adjust to make sure that you're not crazy
Like a
warm.
heat blanket, just pulsive
Yeah.
heat. Just like slowly warming up and
Exactly. Adjusting. But with your perception check generally, Oash, just like moving slowly back kind of towards the coils of the serpent, you haven't traveled a lot in anything like this terrain, but you are familiar with tracking people more than prey, I would say. So you can tell that this is not a very well-traveled path you're taking. You don't see a lot of footprints. You don't note a lot of like the scattered remains of food that might have certain, like animals that come places that a lot of people travel through to like eat discarded things. But you also see in the distance some more of this black smoke. You guys had passed by one of these like oil digging spaces before, and there seem to be more of those along the path you're taking. So it's not very well traveled, but you do see more of these like billowing clouds of smoke. Perhaps there's some kind of, like underground area where there's a lot of this material.
Okay.
And yeah. And I want to know, since you are kind of keeping out the perception and also traveling on the horse, are you directing the party more away from these? Like, are you circling around these sort of like smokestacks, or do you not really care?
What do we know about these smokestacks so far? Is there any information that we've gathered about them?
You haven't stopped to talk to anyone at these before. You had just seen people descending down into the earth and pulling up sort of like coal-like material, basically. And where these holes in the ground are, this black smoke comes out.
I don't think I'm directing us away from them. Because, as Awaish had said to Matthias previously, they are very interested in compiling resources. And while they're not interested in being a leader, wouldn't it be just so wild if we were just traveling and we just happened to, like, pass by one of these things? And, oh, what a coincidence. Maybe we'll stop.
That works perfectly, since you rolled the oil diggers on my random encounter table.
Yay!
Amazing.
I'm coming for your oil diggers.
All right. While you are directing the party towards this, I'm going to set this up on the map. Is there anything that anyone's doing? I know Taz and Neve are trading some pranking stories. Any other conversations that are happening here?
I think Arden's like behind everyone else and is just keeping an ear out, so not necessarily.
And I think Kiara, because we're supposed to be stealthy, Kiara's mostly just babbling at her steed.
Cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, actually, I want to take a moment here, Pooja. Kiara does have a plus to animal handling, a positive.
She's, just my base wisdom score.
Okay. How has Kiara interacted with animals in the past? I think I've mentioned a little bit that there's a menagerie in Jalraha that is curated by one of the higher royal members of the Empire. Is Kiara particularly fond of animals? She hasn't trained in, riding them or, working with them, but...
Kiara, I think the menagerie is definitely one of the places that Kiara frequented growing up, just because when everyone else was busy or doing other tasks and she was kind of left to her own devices, and before she had Agnida, she really didn't have anyone else to talk to. And so going to animals, playing with animals, it was very natural and welcoming, and I think they always reacted to Kiara's just warm spirit. And I think there's also a little bit of natural ease there, because sadly, not all animals are intelligent enough to play games. So it's like, they are what they are. They take you for who you are. And it's just warm and accepting. And it's almost that sense of like there is no hiding feelings. Like, you know when an animal is mad at you, you know when an animal loves you. It was in a palace full of people playing political games. The animals were a place for comfort, truth, and honestly, like, less work.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Alright. So, mostly quiet today. The party travels onward between the trees, dusted with snow. The light is warm overhead where it reaches through, and there's a sort of comforting rhythm that you all begin to fall into, looking out for each other over each other's shoulders, the occasional reference or small joke or pointing out an area that you'll have to move some things out of the way, navigate the cart and the sled kind of slowly between some trees, pointing out the various birds that might fly overhead here. There are some animals that are vaguely familiar that you're not encountering a lot of. I would say generally the wildlife seems cautious, and you are traveling quite quietly, but still as a group, so you're not seeing a lot of just like squirrels just on the side of the path that don't care as you approach. There are occasional rustles just sort of to your left or to your right as you move, like things are just moving away from you as you travel forward. You do, at a few points, see just kind of in the distance, a hare just starts and then disappears, or maybe you catch the back leg of an animal of a similar color to the Arkhams that you are traveling upon. Doesn't seem like a lot of wild horses or anything like that in these parts. Arav is doing quite well, but he is a trained warhorse. So I think Oish, especially, having worked with animals a lot, you can tell that this is not a nervous animal you're riding on. This is a pretty, intelligent and well-trained animal, but he's still not quite adapted to this environment. He is much less wild with an eye than this place.
You're all right. You're all right. I do have one thing that Awaish does while we're traveling.
Yeah.
And kind of takes the Arav is not super suited to this as an excuse to begin to pull back a little, go a little slower, and pull up beside Barden. And say, is the travel treating you well?
A little bit surprised, but kind of like steps aside just a little bit to give some distance between her and Arav. And it's like, not too bad. Not strange to have snow that isn't salt. But otherwise, it's not too different from the trees at home. What about you?
I am not too versed in the snow itself, and yet the cold doesn't bother me anyway. And yet, I find the legends to be more true than I expected.
The legends?
Well, snow elves.
Do I know many legends of snow elves?
Give me a history check.
Oh.
Give me that wish, Lord. Where is my sheet?
Oh, it's just being like, you don't know my creation myth? God.
21, baby.
21. You have not known any snow elves before. You haven't been friends with any of them before. You haven't talked to any of them before, but generally, you've like passed the history check. It's not a super obscure information. There are a lot of stories about different kind of species and cultures and how they come to be. I think it's not just elven mythology necessarily, but a general mythos that associates certain kinds of
Snowkin is probably the
creation.
better word, right?
Yeah, snowkin. Snowkin is what I would say.
Which is what I think Alish said.
Mhm. That snowkin are not just people who
Actions.
like live well in snow, but rather it's you might call giantkin, for example, or even using the word stonekin to refer both to like dwarves that tend to live in the mountains, but also maybe like Naga or even Aarakocra who spend time around mountains. A sense that adaptations or like long periods of time living in a certain area also are associated culturally with mythos of being created from the material that people live around and live naturally in. So snowkin especially are said to have been created long ago by the divine hand of a deity, shaping them from snow and ice itself. So Duergar and dark elves coming from underground ice or dark snow. Uh, Sun elves or some Azamar said to have been created from ice that has like been resting in the sun. So the sparkle of sun on ice, giving sort of an association there. Same thing with certain tieflings, even kind of associated not just with having come from hell or descendants of devils, but rather warm hot springs, gods that took uh, heat itself, taking like warm water and combining it with roses, for example, and bringing forth the ancestors, sorry, of many different peoples.
I think Novel really loves creation theories, loves creation myths. I think they look for them when they read things.
Makes sense.
Just thinking, are there any changeling ones? But I think to wish, well, doesn't look like you've melted in the sun yet.
Well, I'm more used to the sun than to the snow, but I think flesh is made of stronger stuff.
Seems to be a thing with you. Stronger than you look. What's it like where you're used to the sun?
Close. Closer to it than many may think. I didn't come here just to make small conversation, Barden.
No.
As much as I have given a bit of an extension on the question that you may ask, I do not intend on making that extension infinite. So.
Yes. It's been a bit busy, hasn't it?
Perhaps
But
take this quiet travel as time to ponder on what that question might be.
I've been thinking. Just hasn't been the time to ask. But I can wait. If this isn't the time.
Ask tonight.
Thank you.
And they will
Look
pull
forward to
back
it.
up and ride forward.
Barden just watching them right away and just like, oh, that went pretty good.
All right.
Also, as they're going, Barden is definitely talking to Titan's Wrath. Just like little in their head conversations back and forth. Just asking little questions.
What do you ask?
Have they been here before? To this land? Do they like the snow? Do they feel cold?
No. Titan's Wrath has not been here before. And neither does she feel cold. But she has traveled in weather like this before. And it kind of comes in this obscure and flowery language of, I've tasted the flesh of beasts that have walked not these wastes, but rather snow like this, land like this.
Is there like another continent, or could this be Skyhome?
This might be more upper Skyhome as well. There are mountainous regions
Makes
between
sense.
some of the flooded valleys, and those valleys weren't always flooded. You know, Skyhome has had an influx of like water and floods. Weather has shifted over many years.
I think one more question. Where was your favorite place to be?
In your hands, sire.
Gay. That's a gay sword. That's a fruity sword.
It is.
Vivan's just like,
Yep. You come to sort of a crossroads between some trees where it's a little bit more open. You all now see some of the smoke that's billowing up, perhaps from again, hard to tell, campfire. It is a particularly like thicker, blacker smoke than you might expect from a campfire. I think Neve is kind of sitting up a little bit more on alert as well, seems excited. All of you probably, because you're just generally perceptive people with your passive perception, have probably noticed at some point that Neve seems to be messing around with a little bit of magic. I think especially Tazriel, you might have noticed that she seems to have learned the light cantrip. And so has been like kind of messing with that and touching different things on the cart and making them kind of flicker and glow a little bit. Especially Taz, I think you note that... Actually, Taz, will you give me an Arcana check?
I'm magic, baby.
Yeah, fuck yeah. 21, Alex.
21. It seems like Neve is using her short swords as arcane focuses. So she doesn't have... she doesn't have like a ball or a symbol or anything, but rather is just kind of like using the daggers as somatic components right now. But even though you yourself are not a user of magic, you do know that this is not something that will necessarily last. Weapons that are not inherently magical do not always make good arcane focuses. In some cases they do, but it usually requires a lot of training to be able to both wield a weapon and use it as a focus. And if you get really used to using a weapon just as a focus, it might be hard to also use it as a weapon.
So Alex, with that 21 and you telling me this, do I get this? Does Taz get the sense that as he starts to up her training, he should require her to be casting things through it, like even if just light, to get her used to that kind of situation?
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Either
Okay.
that, or she is more used to using these. Like mechanically, they're daggers. She uses 2 daggers that are, I call short swords. This gives you the sense that it might be worth training her in a one-handed weapon, so she can also use a focus. Because if she has both hands on weapons and she's trying to also use them as her focuses, it will take a lot more to be able to do both efficiently.
One last question. And do I think if she had like a 1 or 2 weapons that were actually magical, not just things she's casting magic on, she'd be able to do it without needing that same focus since it already inherently has magic on it?
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
This is
then
kind of related to some of the weave itself, I would say, and the nature of it, which is things that are forged to spill blood are not always as good at channeling magic. versus things that are forged to channel magic are more helpful.
I think then upon seeing that and like Taz is stopping and thinking about all of that, everything you said will at some point in this ride just fast study, I see. Learning things from Oash.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of... I've known magic users. I feel like something's kind of clicking. I haven't had a lot of time, but this is more than I've ever been able to do before.
Well, if you're planning on mixing your combat styles, then we'll need to adjust our training. Either having you train with something one-handed for whenever you get whatever you're going to use to be channeling your magic, or maybe try and get our hands on some weapons that are inherently magical themselves. I don't... My magic is different, but I know a little bit enough to know having to focus on channeling through mundane weapons can make the training a lot harder, and at this stage of your training could put you in a dangerous situation. So
Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm just kind of messing with it, so I do know that usually you would use like a wand or an amulet or something. I haven't found something that feels right yet.
I'll keep an eye out, see if I can't get my hands on something you might like.
Thank you, Azrael. Now, before we arrive to these oil mining operations, I think let's do a quick break. I want to get a little bathroom break, if that's okay. If you're ready for
Sounds
that,
good.
Sarah.
I'm ready for anything. All right, everybody.
All right. We will be back in about 5 minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Quick little
Hell
bathroom
yeah.
break.
We'll see y'all in a hot minute. Goodbye, see you soon.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hungers. Thanks for bearing with us. The expedition party has reached sort of a crossroads. You see a number of figures through the trees as it opens up. It seems like you just sort of naturally curved a little bit out of some of the denser forest, which has made it easier to traverse. The horses and the Arkhams can now step side by side, the sled pulling along a little bit smoother. And you all begin to smell this sort of thick, powdery scent. Kind of like burning coals, I would say, but less woodsy and more what we might call chemical in nature. It breaks through the pleasant scent of pine and instead gives off, I don't know, a smoke that is pungent. Oh, hello. Thank you for the raid, Dyson Autism. So, ahead you can make out a number of figures, as well as these smoke clouds billowing up between the trees from what seem to be pits that have been dug in the earth here. You spent a little over half the day traveling this far, so it is a good point for some kind of lunch break or rest as you see fit. But in order to get a view on these pits, you'd have to pull up a little closer. So I think, Oash, since you've led people here, you can kind of call for a stop for the moment, and then Neve says, I would actually really love to go in the woods and, use the bathroom. If we can pause.
Right. All right.
I'll be quick.
Do you need someone to go with you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right. Kara will hop off and go with.
Cute. Okay. You two step away. But it does look like you've attracted at least the brief attention of people who are working here. I would say you're still probably a good 30 or 40 feet from the nearest person, but seems to be mostly kind of hunkered down workers dressed in warm clothing, thick leathers. Many of them are wearing cloth over their faces, these masks, maybe to protect against some of the smoke that's billowing out of these holes in the earth.
Mm-hmm. I think Oash will take advantage of us stopping here. Oh, how wild. Just to go over and make some conversation with some of these workers.
Bun's gonna go over as well.
Well met.
Which one are you going up to? Feel free to walk towards.
Oh, is there something I can approach? Is it this way?
Down a little bit, actually.
Down. I can't see. Oh, hello.
Who we got?
This one.
Who looks the
Tough
the
two.
least annoyed that we're there?
Alex, they look like the hat makes me think London gangsters or whatever with the
bowler hats. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One's gonna be called Tiny.
These are from
Please let one be called Tiny.
these are from the Blade asset pack.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They look great. I'm going up to this one.
That was gonna be my guess.
Okay. Are you coming with Tazriel?
I think there's a moment where Taz is considering it, but if everybody's okay with me saying it, I think as we stop, Taz will just ask, everybody okay if we do group link just in case anything happens?
Oh yeah. Good idea.
Fine.
All right, yeah, we're all linked up, and I am expending an extra die for this since I don't get my free one back until we take an extra long rest. And it lasts
that's
for
right.
Resources.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Oh, yep, Alex, that's gonna last for 7 hours.
Excellent. Are you
Whoa.
including Vice as well?
I think I should be
'cause
able to
Maddie
since since Maddie's not here.
Maddie-less behavior.
Matty booted out the group chat.
Pretty exciting. This is one of the first times Vice has felt this then, because usually
Bestie.
you.
I explain exactly what she's gonna feel when it happens if she's okay with it.
Sure, that's fine. But it doesn't seem too perturbed by it. She knows she has faced your psionic energy in different ways before, so. Okay. Awish, you approach. This is a taller man, sort of brushed back, blonde hair, is wearing a hat and this cloth over you and Barden, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was hoping that this person was a sexy lady. Ah, well. You make your guesses and you live with the decision.
I would say does seem to be of a, you know what? Let's say it's a trans woman. Fuck it.
Sexy
Actually-
lady!
The sexy lady.
Yes!
Waiting.
We all deserve sexy ladies.
So yeah, she's got this brushed back hair, and sort of a long dark cloak, and seems to be surveying other workers as they are like moving up and in and out of this pit. Immediately as the three of you kind of approach towards the edge, you can see just dribbling down rock and stone, there's this black material, almost like sap, I would say. And then deeper into the bowels of the earth where the smoke is emitting from, just like hunks of black material, the rock immediately goes from packed down brown dirt to a thick, crumbly black. These people are covered in soot, just like smoke smeared down their arms and across their faces, besides where they have the masks or protective gloves on. And there are just piles of these black stones that have been set to the side of the pit that they seem to be bringing up and out. And what did you say as you approached?
Well met.
Can I help you with anything?
Just, coin for your time and a few questions.
Sure.
Wish will take out a gold piece and kind of like mage hand it over. Because they're still on the horse.
Oh, you've got your horse. You
Freaking Disney princess over here. Pay on.
Give me information.
Tell me.
It's me, Prince Charming, coming on a horse. What exactly is the
Yes.
whole of your operation here?
Why would a magic user want to know?
Magic users are quite hungry even for useless knowledge, are they not? Useless to them, at least.
Takes the gold coin and pockets it. Well, we were about to take a lunch break anyway. Ceased operations. Some travelers are passing through. And some of the people begin to sort of climb out. There are more than are here on this map. There are about 18 people between 3 different pits that are sort of scattered around the crossroads here. We are mining. A splinter group from the local refinery here.
And what is this oil used for? Energy? Magic?
That is some of what it is used for, yes. But my crew just delivers.
There's a place
What
near
is
here
your-
that takes deliveries, then.
Yes. Up in the pass.
Understood. If we were to continue traveling along, Anoish points the way that they had been intending to go, would we run across this refinery?
I would say it's hard to avoid. Yes.
Excellent.
What is your name, magic user?
Oesh Sigordesh Guzmanbesh.
Definitely not from around here.
No.
I'm Esme. I'm the supervisor of this crew.
Esme.
I see you're traveling with other companions. Hello.
Hi there.
Are you here to buy, perchance?
Might be persuaded. Oesh reaches out a hand to shake with Esme. And, yeah.
How about you, could you regale us with the great uses of it?
Like I said, I am not involved in any kind of refinement or usage, just the procurement. But I would be happy to part with some of the coals.
Well then.
If you're interested in getting the raw goods before the rest of the rabble, of course.
Quite interested. If only for observational purposes.
Certainly. And then pulls aside one of the workers to, like, grab some of the black rocks over and kind of wrap them in a rag for you. They have a number of, like, big bags, not a lot of small ones.
Mm-hmm.
While this is happening, Tazriel, you are mind-linked. I think Vice is kind of shifting and, like, watching the cart and horses, waiting for an even Kiara to get back. Are you just kind of watching Oesh talk, or are you doing anything differently?
I think Taz is taking like a look at all the people around him, kind of situation, like he doesn't feel like this is a dangerous situation, but definitely just assessing who looks like if something went down would be more useful in a fight, would be somebody to keep an eye on, like doesn't, and it's not like we're definitely gonna get into a fight with these people, but maybe something happens out here while we've stopped. Like it's an unknown territory for him, and he's very much like hyper alert at this point.
Okay. Give me just a plain charisma check. This is kind of based on an inherent leadership quality that you would recognize.
Okay. All right. This has been really good today. Alex, that is a natural 20 for a 21.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. Between the sort of sections of crew here, 18 people, the majority are working on this like larger pit that you are all over at. It does seem like it's not a particularly strong group of people.
Mm-hmm.
You note that many of them are unarmed. They're not carrying weapons, and obviously, like, working in and out of pits, it would be unwieldy to have a sword on your belt necessarily, but it seems that the strength of numbers is something that is helpful here, but it also doesn't necessarily look like they are, quote, a fighting crew, right? Especially because they are spending time working in the wastes. It makes sense that maybe they are less than a day's journey from wherever their base is. They don't have camping equipment. Like I said, they don't have a lot of weaponry. Probably the most useful or helpful in a fight would just be this supervisor that Oesh is talking to in order to give orders necessarily. But out of game, especially with a natural 20, I'll say none of these people are leveled characters. Most of them would probably take 1 or 2 hits and be severely injured.
Okay, I think. What Tad's doing? I think in this situation, then
Mhm.
he'll say across the mine link. Not spotting anything dangerous while we stop, but if anything happens, while we're here, these people are not going to be particularly helpful, and just go back to keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Good shit.
For the gold piece and the information, things are pretty expensive here, but you can grab just a few basically like pebbles of this
Yeah.
black material. I think passes it to Barden since you're not on a horse.
I'm your fucking servant.
Get off your fucking
Sorry.
horse.
Let my servant.
Let my
butler-
attendant help you.
There you go. Just. Oh, thank you. Can I look
Yes.
at it? Is it like resinous? Is it sticky? Is it?
It
Does it
is
look like
sticky.
coal?
It's stickier than you, kind of like coals, like fire coals, but it doesn't crumble as easily in the hand. It is, as you like break it apart, it does leave this like oily residue on you.
I think she definitely she pulls off a glove and just wants to feel it and just have a look around it. Just like, is it flammable?
Yes, very, very flammable.
Good to know. Just thinking because it's sticky. Passes it up to Oish. There you go. Or do you want me to carry it?
No, I.
Teasing. Like,
Right.
With your passive insight, Oish, the supervisor directed their worker to pass it to Barden. As Barden moves to pass it up to you, there's like an expression,
Can I
an eyebrow or
can
something.
I roll to try to decipher that expression a bit more?
You can give me an insight check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Insight. Dirty 20.
Okay. Seems uncomfortable. Like, seems hesitant, basically.
to give it to a magic user.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the assumption that putting it in the hands of a magic user is kind of dangerous, perhaps. I'm guessing I don't feel anything initially taking this in hand. It's just raw material.
You just take it in hand, yeah.
No, doesn't react to inherent magic.
Don't worry.
Doesn't seem to.
I don't bite.
Much.
I have no concerns as to that. There are plenty of things in these woods that do. Your group is welcome to join us if you are stopping for a midday meal.
We are taking a bit of a break and a bit of a word to the wise in terms of things that bite. We encountered some of those very things back on the path, and if they are following this path, they may come across you.
A warning is well appreciated. We shouldn't be out for longer than a few more hours anyway.
Go ahead.
Can I look at the outfits that the people are wearing as they're going in and out, just to see what sort of protection they're taking? To see if that can give me any more information about how dangerous this thing is. Obviously, I know it's flammable now, but is it poisonous?
Since I've already given you the information, masks mostly for the smoke. Most of them are wearing gloves. They're not using hazmat stuff. The majority is that touching it does leave residue on your skin. Like you can't just wipe it off in the snow. Like you do have a black sticky material that you're gonna have to scrub off. So it seems mostly for comfort.
Okay.
This doesn't look anything like the oil that got on me and made a mouth, does it?
I would say since it is in your mind and in this area, it's similar in the way that certain kinds of flowers might look similar.
Got it.
You know, like
As a root?
they could come from a similar source. They maybe could be one could be made into the other.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So can I unload some food?
Yes.
Vice actually says this, I think, along the mine link.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Oish will also go back through the mind link and say, we've been invited to lunch if we'd like to take a bit more of a break.
Kiara, you step to the side with Neve, and, you know, do as you will. And then you, just like looking around, note that besides the 3 pits here, there is a bit less snow in certain areas. There are some like kind of general cracks in the ground. The terrain is a little bit different. Like the whole area is maybe affected by whatever they're mining here.
Mm-hmm. Kiara will... Neve's still with Kiara, right?
Yes.
Kiara will let Neve go do her business first, and given that she's Kiara and not, you know, some of the other members of this party, very cautiously from far start examining these cracks in the ground, because if it's anything hinky, Kiara's backing out.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Kiara is not the red button pusher. Also, Kiara will guide herself on this because
Okay.
which manifests as Kiara talking to Agnida in her head and being like, "Do we trust this? Do we not trust this? What do you think?"
Let's find out.
That's not very good, but it's okay. Investigation, okay. 13.
13. Moving over and kind of pushing some of the snow away with investigation. There isn't as much smoke, but there are like thin cracks of smoke building up, so it seems like the smoke comes not from whatever the workers are doing, but rather just from underground here. There's not...
Investigate further. Sorry, go ahead.
If you want to like dig into it a little bit and see if you can pull up some material.
Kiara's gonna look for a twig or a branch on the ground.
Okay.
And then stick that in the hole.
Okay. Here.
Also, if there's
Stick
not
a
one on the
fire.
ground, the very entertaining thing of Kiara putting her whole body weight on a really terrible looking branch to
amazing.
bring it to the ground might happen.
This is, maybe it's just because this has been obsessively on my mind for the last week, but there is a place in Los Angeles called the La Brea Tar Pits where it's literally like millions of years old tar under the ground that will bubble up over time. And there are literal pockets in the park that they have to section around because tar will just like bubble up in random places and start getting hot and smoking, and you can get stuck in it. And this just reminds me of that.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You kind of like push this stick into here, and Neve kind of peeks out from behind a tree and like finishes putting her coat back on. What are you doing? Can I? And like kind of comes over and starts looking a little bit like, you know, scooping out some of the black rock, and it crumbles into the snow. Could you give me a dexterity check, Kiara?
Yuki. 12.
Okay. You plunge your twig in and then just kind of drop it. This like crack goes down a little bit deeper than you expected, and there's no sound of it hitting anything. You know, it's just like a branch, a piece of wood that you've dropped in here, but there's sort of a burble of scent, almost like someone had set something on fire, and you have that like sudden puff of scent. and more smoke begins to billow from this spot.
What does it smell like?
It smells. I mean, it smells like tar, basically. Like, what they coat roads with. This thick boiling, almost. And then you see just like some of this black liquid seeping up through the snow around you. So, like the snow itself kind of turns this blackened color. It's not a lot. It's a very small spot. It's not even, like 5 feet. It's just this like 1.5 foot kind of patch of it. But you can kind of tell based on looking around you in this more open area, spaces where some like tree roots as well have kind of withered up a little bit, that maybe there are more of these holes and spots.
Kiara will turn to Neve and be like, what do you think that is? Have you seen anything like that before or heard anything about that?
I haven't ever. Certainly there are some kinds of materials, like garbage or waste or refuse that is washed out to sea from, business on the coast, but nothing like this.
Strange. Well, we shouldn't touch it for sure, because, listen, a lot of people in this party have the habit of touching things they shouldn't, and I should tell you early, just don't do it. It's not great.
Okay.
Also,
I've
never
been
touch it
told
with your
that.
hand when you can touch it with something else, right? Like, that's why I use this stick. But
It's not.
I kind of want to try to see if we can... Well, I don't have freezing power. You can do magic now. What kind of things can you do?
I am learning a little bit, yeah. I was actually... She kind of steps back and, like, takes out the, dagger and rubs it in her hands. I was trying something, if you want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Neve steps back a little bit, like, back against this tree that you two are standing by, and kind of just points the dagger at this ground here. And then flicks it.
Ooh.
And you see basically a snowball come out of the tip of the dagger and just like off of like one of the sticks and then a little patch of black snow. She casts Ray of Frost.
Cute.
That's so
Here.
cool. I guess maybe you get that from where you come from. Most of my things are light and fire.
More
So
from
that's really
watching the
cool.
waste, actually.
Well, where you come from, right? Like, metaphorically speaking.
We're not related.
By blood?
I mean, yeah. Or,
For context, I don't think Oasia's told anyone that they're not blood related to Neve.
Oh. Kiara says, when I grew up, it didn't matter if you shared blood, if you were still family, if you thought you were family.
kind of leans in a little bit. I do feel like Sig could be family.
Sure, behave like your parent.
But not really like other parents I've known, though. In a good way.
Cool, like halfway between a parent and like a cool, like, parent sibling kind of a thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
just way too cool to be your actual parent.
Sort of like a tutor, right? But a tutor who's really cool and lets you sneak out when you're supposed to be learning something?
That's pretty, yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have a parrot like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
but do you
is
want to see what I
your-
can do? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh,
No,
Kiara was
go.
just going to try to light the end of that stick on fire.
Oh, yes. Give me... let's just call it
It'll be a firebolt.
a fireball. You don't need to... give me a roll for it to see how
Okay.
accurately you hit, you know?
That's a 14 on the die.
Mm-hmm.
And then if
That
it's a
will-
firebolt, then it's +4 to hit.
Excellent, with an 18. The patch that Neve had kind of frost blasted, you actually hit very accurately with that fireball. Fireball's a flash, so it doesn't usually, like, set stuff on fire, right?
Mhm.
But the oil just, like, on the end that's kind of leaking up here does catch. So definitely unusual, and you would know that. But just, like, that black smoke that's billowing up gets thicker, and you see, like, wisps of flame licking up from it. And then out from this crack in the earth where the oil has been burbling up, you see it kind of spread out very rapidly, almost like someone has poured water down into it, and like the water itself just kind of spreads out.
Spread it, yeah.
You can see not just 1 foot, but like 3, 4, 5, and then 10 feet of these oil tendrils, like it's growing from the fire.
Vaguely terrifying. But before Kiara did that, were you gonna say to roll something?
I was going to say what your passive perception is, but what you have done has made it more obvious. You know, so.
Yeah, we still mess with things. We just, press the red button with the long stick instead of with our hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Nice. It's a 2.
th- I don't think I'm smart enough to quite understand what this is, Ed, but
It does
all I'm getting is
feel-
dangerous.
It definitely does feel dangerous, so. Maybe we should go back to the rest of the group.
Yes. But before we go, you said you consider Wish like a tutor, but do you consider them family?
I kind of do. I'm not sure if they feel the same way. And I think I worry more about how my mom would feel about that, you know?
No. Well, I can tell you, I don't think my father, if he paid attention long enough to know what I was doing, would be incredibly pleased with it, but also, I have to make my own choices, and if you consider a Wish family, then I can't read them very well, as nobody can, but I have seen more tenderness towards you than anyone else. And more protectiveness.
I get that. I think that's nice to hear.
Maybe that is what family is for them. But I wouldn't know.
Do you think you are kind of stepping away back towards the group? The rest of you are now regathering to pull your supplies off of the cart, and then Kiara, does a 16 hit your AC?
Yeah.
Okay. From the tendrils of black that are like leaking up from the snow, as you are moving away, you feel something like thick begin to coat your ankle. You kind of like trip for a second as you are moving back towards the group, and you see this thick tendril has wrapped around your boot, like coming up and out of the snow, and just hugs down. And you are going to take. I have to roll damage here. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 18 points of acid damage.
Okay, cool. What's that total?
7 plus 18 is 25 points of damage.
Sweet. Am I connected telepathically to my
Yes.
friends? Well, as soon as Kiara can, you will hear a padded Kiara voice going, I think this hole is trying to eat me. Come help!
Excellent. And then I would love for everyone to roll initiative for me.
Yeah,
If I can also do on multiverse.
Yeah,
I
dude.
knew this was coming.
I'm rolling.
I just gotta
Oh god, I gotta switch to combat music. Oh, everyone
You know
pray
that-
for me. Okay, all right. Tense.
There we go. Where's my guy? I'm pulling him up.
Oh boy. I got an 11.
And 11 for Barden, okay.
17 for Taz.
And 17 for Taz.
13 for Kiara.
Oh, baby.
13 for Kiara.
You know I
What was
hear
it,
Kiara's call for help, and I immediately put together that Neve is there, and Awaish has a 19. Bang! Out of there!
Yeah, Neve,
Excellent.
they totally don't think of you as family, like, at all.
You know what? I need the wizard to stop rolling better initiative than me, okay? Like, enough.
Wait till I take the alert feat.
You're too busy leading, Taz.
All right, so we had a 17 for Taz, right? A 13 for Kiara. What was Barden?
I can't remember. It was either 11 or 13. It's
13,
11.
I
It's
think.
fucking 11.
Are you
13
sure?
was me. I think Barden was 11.
Okay.
Let's do 11.
I have advantage. It makes me so sad. My one was a 4.
Oh, poor Vice got a
Oh,
7. Devastating. Okay, and then we have 19 for Awish. And then I've got to get my guys out over here.
Your who?
My guys!
Fuck your guys.
I bet they're fucking elementals. Oil elementals. Yeah! Sorry.
Now this is a little more blue than this thing
It's
should
the
be.
sheen. It's the shine. It's fine.
I gotta go over and see what's happening. God, where are they?
Yeah. You would have been up towards the cart anyway, so I'll
Maddie's
move
like,
you.
you'll be fine.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
Oh, that's right, because we were getting our stuff off when all this was happening. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Little spell light right now.
Wait, yeah, we were closer.
They always
I still got
roll
my
so
fourth
many
levels though.
things.
Oh my God, Alex, are you having them be over by the people too who can't defend themselves and are just gonna die?
Ooh.
Okay.
Not fair.
All right. So
We should just tell
that
them to
was
run.
the surprise round. Now it doesn't. There's an additional effect, Kiara. Are you wearing armor?
Leather armor, isn't it?
I believe. Let me check. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Yes,
I know
leather
what
armor.
you're doing, Alex.
Okay.
Is it?
So the oil that has wrapped around you, it begins to dissolve, like the leather bracers that you're wearing, while a non-magical armor worn by the target is partially dissolves and takes a permanent -1 penalty to the AC it offers.
Oh my god.
Gonna take it off. It's useless now.
Take it off.
No, not currently. I meant after.
Oh, I was
Let me
like, please.
So
Well, leather
whatever
armor
your
gives you a
AC
plus
is-
1.
Leather
Right.
armor, yeah, is 12 plus your dexterity. So
I thought
whatever,
11 plus dex.
depending what kind of leather armor you're wearing.
It's just the
Studded
base
leather
level.
might be the
Yeah, studded leather gives you more. This is just base leather. Okay, well, Kiara's AC is now 13 then.
Uh-oh.
If her shield's up.
Yes. Well, we'll say then you pull out your shield. Okay, that is it's surprise round. We're at the top of the order. Let's make sure I start Awasha's turn.
Yeah.
And you're up. What do you do? Let me
Is
put
this
my
really
little
how
grid
far I
on.
am from them?
You would have been moving towards the cart. So if you want to move a little bit further away and then say that's where you start, you just let me know.
Okay. I'll say here. And oh boy. Bitch. What does this thing look like? Does it look like it is coming up from the ground as in it's rooted from the ground?
Coming up from the ground. Yeah.
Does it look like it could be severed from the ground?
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Okay. All right. Interesting. I would like...
What is rising from the ground are tendrils of oil,
Right.
like drifting up into the air as if they're not affected by gravity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not affected by gravity, are we?
Copying.
I would like to cast Magic Missile at this boyo. Second level, so 4 darts. And with Darren on me, resummoned.
Oh, let me get Darren in there. There he is.
I'm going to make it cold damage.
Okay.
I want to try to slow this thing down, possibly.
Will you roll damage for me?
Sure thing. Okay, 2. So 4, 5, and that's full. 9 plus 4 is 13 cold damage.
Okay. And then, could you also roll a d4 for me?
Absolutely. Yeah, just running towards on Arav with these bolts that come out, implant, and then kind of explode in shards of ice. That's a 2.
Okay. Your magic missile shatters across the ooze that's rising up. You see some of the tendrils kind of freeze and then fall to the ground. You've done 13 damage to it. Doesn't seem to have a particular reaction to whatever magic you're using. Anything else on your turn?
I am going to move closer. So 1, 5, 10, 15, 20 to here.
Okay. You move up to the tree. You're next to Neve and Kiara now. You can see the hole where this thing is emerging from. I'm going to have Darren go immediately after you. What do you want Darren to do?
Stay close. I need to do some work. And basically indicates for him to actually stay by their side so that they can be touching him in order to test what different kinds of damage may work on this thing.
Okay. Darren moves up and just sort of perches on your shoulder. Next in the order is Tazriel.
Yeah, okay. So we got a guy over there. Ooh, Jesus. Got a guy over there. Yeah, I think Taz's first priority is obviously making sure whatever's fucking with Kiara stops doing it. So is going to... Yeah, has more than enough movement speed to get up right there, and is gonna take 2 attacks.
Okay. Give me those attack rolls.
This thing is like within 5 feet of Kiara, right? Like that's not just.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
definitely.
It's on my leg.
I wonder if I can get some more oil ooze. Oh, yes. Puddles.
So Alex, I rolled 2 15s, so that is going to be 22 for both attacks to hit, which means
Both will hit.
Yep, within 5 feet, which means I get to add my sneak attack to it as well. So that is going to be
true.
Yep, D8 and my blades.
And are you using your psionic daggers?
I am using my psionic daggers.
Okay, so
But
you do
I am-
psychic damage.
They do psychic damage, but I am not empowering the second one, so it does not become a D8 like my normal one just yet.
Okay.
I found my psionic dice. I forgot where I'd put them.
Yeah.
D8, D4.
Very nice.
It's all of this.
Very nice.
Dice are nice.
Oh, that's good. Oh shit! Fuck yeah. Alex, in total, that's going to be 28 points of psychic damage from those 2
28
attacks.
points of psychic damage. Excellent. And since it's psychic damage, I'm not going to have some of the other effects happen. So you quickly slash into this thing. It seems it's hard to tell what exactly it is. Like you are trying to kind of dissuade whatever has formed from this hole from emerging and attacking. And it seems to kind of slow down in whatever it's doing, pulling itself out here. Kind of writhing almost, like strangely curling in the air, like fingers retreating back from where you slashed, with 28 points of psychic damage.
And I don't know if this like does anything mechanically, but flavor wise, Taz is definitely going for the section that is like connected to Kiara's like it's actually wrapping around, so trying to flavorly separate that part from the rest of the body.
Mm-hmm. I also realized that I have made an error, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, Sarah. This thing is immune to cold damage.
Okay.
Which you would immediately recognize and know and have the information about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So as you release the missile, it kind of just, it doesn't really freeze it in place, it just kind of absorbs it. So let me make sure, that was 13 points of damage, I think you did?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna heal it back up. Excellent. Tazriel, that is, you've used your action. Are you doing anything else?
I've used my action and my bonus action, so that is it. And just kind of positioning myself as threatening as possible. Black pudding.
Okay. The rest of this creature pulls itself up and out. It's got this thick base, like it's rock towards the bottom, and then sort of a column of this oil that grows and spreads out, peeling tentacles up from where it had been leaching up under the snow, almost like a black octopus of thick tar-like material. And then you hear some shouts from Esme and some of the other workers. It's coalescing! Seems like there are other tendrils that are emerging from the other pits. You didn't use magic on it, did you?
Who did that?
Okay. And Esme starts like directing workers to move away from the edge of the pits. So 2 more have emerged from the other. Sorry, 3 more have emerged from the other pits.
Okay. That's a
Well, I
nice.
want to give it to you.
I really appreciate that little hint, Alex. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And the one that is next to Kiara, Tazriel, Oesh, that one has people within its range. So it is going to, I think, with its grip still on Kiara, it's kind of trying to pull you in closer. Like, it's still flickering with some of these flames, like it's seeking the warmth that you've given it. That is going to be an 18 to hit you, Kiara.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 13 right now, so.
I'm rolling really well. Okay.
Hmm.
9 points of bludgeoning damage to you first, Kiara. And then as it, like, winds its way up your leg... Yes?
Do you mind if I use my reaction?
Oh, please.
As
you will
my
take a little bit more damage, but yeah.
Okay, as a reaction, Kiara will do a warding. Okay, well, I guess I don't know if this will work. Can I, by looking at this creature, can I see if it can be? Does it have any sort of sense of sight?
It doesn't have eyes.
Okay, then never mind. Then we keep going.
Yeah.
So you said 9 bludgeoning?
Yes, 9 bludgeoning. Sorry, multiverse just froze on me, so I'm gonna roll this manually. That is 2, 8, 2 is 10, 13, and 13 points of acid damage.
Cool.
So 9 plus 13 is 21 in total on this turn. And your armor further degrades. You take another -1 penalty to your leather armor. If you... Whatever your standard armor is, I believe just like 10 plus your dexterity. Is it?
That's already
12,
what
right?
I'm down to.
Okay, then it can't go below that.
Yeah,
it's just your armor is basically like coated in this black material and seems to be sizzling.
I think it's obsessed with me. You hear
that? Is your turn. Next.
It's my turn now.
Sorry, no, that is the Black Ooze's turn. My multiverse has frozen.
Oh,
Sarah,
no.
can you see what?
I can still
turn
see
is
what's
next?
happening. What do you?
It's Neve's turn next.
Yes,
I
it's
believe.
Neve's turn after this creature that just struck out.
Okay, excellent. Neve backs away. Did I? And then I think, kind of concerned for Kiara, considering they started this together. Neve is gonna make an Arcana check. She's not very well trained with magic, but she is smart enough to recognize that what Awaish didn't seem to have an effect.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of pulls her dagger back and moves around to the other side of this creature. Oh, there we are.
Yay.
Yay. Moving through, kind of to get to the other side of
Yeah.
I'm going to move this tree out of the way.
Hiding in
well,
the trees.
And is just going to... Oh, thank you. It's just going to slash at it with the 2 short swords. So, main hand attack is a 13, which will definitely hit. Strikes at it with this short sword for 6 points of piercing damage, I believe, is a dagger. D&D dagger is piercing, yes. And as she slashes at it, you can see just like flecks of this black oil splash up onto her, and she takes 2 points of acid damage, just like from slashing, from basically hitting it with the sword. So it takes 6 points, and she takes 2.
I'll break away from my frowning to go, baby's first damage, but then... Not damage given, damage taken.
Kind of winces and is going to make her offhand attack. Doesn't get a bonus to hit. With a natural 1, I think just seems pretty concerned with the fact that like some of this oil's gotten on her and starts wiping. Actually drops one of her daggers to start wiping at herself.
Baby.
Ow. And that's Neve's turn. Kiara, it's your turn.
I'm about to do something stupid.
Did Kiara hear the people yell about, did you
Yes.
do magic? Okay. Well, shit. Is the thing is still attached to Kiara's leg? Is that right, or did it attack again?
Yes,
I guess
it's it attacked again. So it's not, you're not restrained. It's not like grappling you or anything like that.
Kiara grumbles, saying, Thais did not finish training me to hit things without magic. And I think the thing Kiara wants to do most is get the fuck away from this thing. And so she is going to I need to see if this is a bonus action or where. She's going to Misty Step.
Nice. I got that.
Ooh.
Which I believe is a second level spell.
Yes.
So as a bonus action, Kiara will Misty Step 30 feet away. And I feel like towards the yaks is probably the safest given all the places the oozes are. So maybe like by Vice.
Okay. You...
Yeah.
I think kind of like a flash of flame almost. As you disappear and then reappear. Just like
Kiara
next
just
to
says,
us.
I don't want to be here, bye! Which is the verbal component of her spell.
Good.
Good shit.
Is it infernal though?
Sure.
And Vice 2 is pulling out her rapier, just kind of jumps.
Magic bad, Kiara will say, but also,
Don't have to worry about that.
can't do attacks that are not magic.
Yeah, don't you have, wouldn't you have a mace or something as a cleric or...
Yeah.
Kiara has, as you have noticed, gone decidedly out of melee.
Oh wait, yeah.
Just heal
yeah,
people. It's
Dodo.
fine. Save your magic for healing.
Yeah.
You know, you still have an Eldritch Blast.
I'm going to try this, and let's hope it doesn't go horribly wrong. And so Kiara's not going to aim towards the one that her friends are by, just in case this goes horribly wrong. So she's going to pick the one to the west of her.
Nice.
Okay.
And throw 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
Excellent. All right. Let me make sure you are
I have
definitely
120
within-
foot range on that.
Oh, yeah, not to worry. And are you doing a traditional Eldritch Blast, which does force damage, or your specialty one that does fire?
Seeing how fire might have been a problem last time, we're going force.
Okay.
So it's like a deeper, it's like a burnished orange instead of like the bright fiery orange. So that's an 18 plus 8 to hit.
Definitely will hit. And
that's going to
the
do,
second one?
That's an 18 to hit.
That will also hit. These things are pretty easy to hit, you're noticing.
The first one does 10 damage.
Okay, 10 force damage. These burnished bolts just kind of explode like the goop in the air, leaving a hole that slowly suctions itself back shut.
And then the second one does 12 damage.
So a total of 22 points of damage. Just like bursting some of the tendrils that are reaching up towards the workers who are backing away from the edges of the pit. That is your turn, Kiara. All done?
Yeah.
Okay. Please, Barton.
Okay. First bonus action rage. I'm going to use my tail. So the long pale tail. Yeah, some reason that sounded wrong. It's probably just about hidden underneath the coat, but it kind of whips underneath, just ready. And Barton's just sword out and just calling to Esme, like, does normal fire work? What? How do you deal with this? What do we do?
Burning does help, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Mental thing. Normal fire, not magic. and as well, she's like, "Is everybody out? Is everyone out in the mine?"
Not yet. Most of them are, but I've got that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Deal with your crew.
The thing is, like, the hero instinct is to go where the most innocent people are. So the natural instinct is to go where all the civilians are. And I think there's just this. Are you sure? Actually, no. Kiara's fine. Kiara's with us. There's 2 magic users. There's 2 capable PCs. I'm gonna go over to the closest guy.
Well, define capable in Awaisha's estimation during this fight.
Capable.
Mundane fire? Have you met Kiara?
Got hurt.
Kiara's great.
Okay. So what's my movement?
It's
My
a new
movement's
mundane
40.
fire.
That's very sexy. So 5, 15, 20. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come down here. I think, yeah, as she runs, she's gonna, I'm gonna help the civilians be safe. 5, 10, 50. Thank you, whoever is doing that for me.
Multiverse is doing it.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's a new
Multiverse.
part of Multiverse to show you like exactly how far you
combat.
go, which is
I thought
very
someone
neat.
was following me. That's interesting. I think the sword is, once they know that, the sword is put back, scrabbling for their matches, for their little kit. It is
not.
just, I'm gonna set the thing on fire.
Okay.
They say fireworks, and everyone's out of this area. Is everyone out of this area? Is that where she said?
Yes, everyone's out of this area. They're on the edge of the pit, but no one's in this one.
I think she's got like her little thing, and she's looking at them like, yeah. To Esme, just.
Esme is, I think, conveyed all that she can on this turn. You have a brief round, so
Yeah.
moving and then going to strike at it. If you pause, you might, this thing is emerging.
Yeah.
So you got to make
It's
your
funny.
split-second
Let's do
decision.
it. Let's do it. It'll be funny.
Okay.
I'm gonna strike it. Actually, one second. I'm not gonna get quite that close. I'm just gonna scoot back a little bit more. I'm gonna 30 feet. So I've got like 5 feet between me and the emergent tendril.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw it in.
Okay, so you strike a match and throw it towards. Give me, let's call this an improvised weapon. Barbarians are proficient with melee martial weapons. So would you give me an attack roll with your proficiency plus your dexterity? So roll a d20 and then add
Okay.
your dex and your proficiency.
Okay, so that would be +4. Ooh, that is. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Need to roll that again. Sorry, that's cocked.
No worries.
Okay, that's a 15, so 19.
A 19 will definitely hit. Keep in mind, if you want to attack recklessly, you can still do that on any turn that you want if you want to try and crit. But it definitely hits if you don't want to attack recklessly.
I also think she's gonna like drop to the floor. If she thinks is what's
Okay.
gonna happen is gonna happen, she's gonna drop.
So you throw the match, and just like licking up this thing, flames burst. That is going to be... it takes 7 points of fire damage.
Only 7. Rude.
Just a match.
Yeah, but it's flammable.
Yeah, but keeping in mind that commoners typically have about 10 hit points, so you've done what would be enough to damage severely a human being to a creature
Okay,
that
but
does not have
Barbarian,
the
you
hit points.
technically almost killed a person with this damage, so.
Exactly. But that does tell you that you sizzle it a little bit, some flames lick up it. Having a magical weapon in hand, you think your strength, you might be able to do more damage to it with your sword than just with matches.
Matches
So,
aren't quite the best. Maybe just hit it.
But I will say that I'll count that as one of your attacks if you also want to make an attack with your sword.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would
Yeah.
like to do that. Yes, please.
Okay.
So, match sword.
Yeah. You
Just
just
that
have to
fluid
step a little bit
motion.
closer to get in melee range.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just scoot my boot.
There you are. Pull forward your sword and give me the attack roll. Once again, if you want to attack
That would be fun to do a little bit of a reckless. Because there are people around, she's worried about the people. Like, her life is on the line, and that's the reason that why Barden exists, even.
Okay.
So
give me an
that
attack
would
roll with
be...
advantage.
Yeah, attack. Boo, boo, boo. That's a nat 20.
There you go.
I didn't
Okay.
even have to roll twice. That was a nat. I've got 30 to hit.
Now this thing is an ooze. It doesn't. It's not an aberration or a monstrosity or anything like that. But please feel free to double your dice on that damage.
Oh, I love that for me. So that was single-handed. 15. 1 second. So that's 1 second. So I double the damage?
Are you rolling in D&D Beyond?
Yeah. I think it might have done it already.
I think it might have done it already for you.
Yeah, it says crit 15.
Okay, 15 points, and your sword does slashing damage?
Yes.
Okay, this thing is going to take a reaction.
Go on.
So you slash through it. Because your sword is magical, when you slash through it, your sword does not corrode it. So your sword is not corroded. Your sword is magically protected against whatever effects this thing does. You are going to take, in response, 3 points of acid damage as it splashes up onto you. You're not resistant. Your rage only protects against piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. And as a reaction, this thing splits down the middle. So it kind of like you cut through it. There's this shining light for a moment, and then you see two halves of it kind of slurp down and then raise themselves back up.
Hydra.
It is now, you see two medium-sized, these are usually large, two medium-sized oozes with half the hit points of the previous ones. And you had done 15 points of damage to it, so it now splits into two like smaller ones. That is your turn. You've used your bonus action, and reaction. Yep. It is Vice's go. Vice, I think, moves to where you are, Barden, like glances to where Taz, Neve, and Oeshar. I'm going to help out the barbarian, and I guess would you call it a barbarian? I'm going to help out the Barden, and rushes towards them. That, with a rapier attack, is going to hit, and then second attack will also hit. Actually, wait. Vice can go more directly. There we are. Not going to flank because there are a number of boulders up here that she can't climb up onto. So with 2 rapier attacks, that is 7 plus 6, 13 points of damage, and she's going to expend a superiority dice to call out to you, Barden, hit it again, and allow you to make another attack.
Yeah! Sorry, I realized I was muted. Gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it double-handed this time.
Yes, and you can still attack recklessly.
Oh, that was so close. Oh, it was almost a 2. That's a 22.
That will definitely hit.
Yeah.
Since you've already used your reckless attack, you might as well roll with advantage because it's still going to get the advantage back on you anyway. So feel free to roll again.
29.
Yes. That will definitely hit. What is the damage on it?
Okay. Oh, that would have been so great if it didn't have a nat. That would have been awesome. That is a 16 damage.
16. Okay, another 16 points of damage, and you take another 4 acid damage.
That's fine. It's just like off the cheek. You know, if Novel scarred, it would look real cool.
All right, come here.
Might have to try and keep up that fake ass acid damage on the skin for a bit.
That is Vice's turn. Vice is also going to take 3, 9 points of acid damage from the splashback, and as she pulls back her rapier, you can see that the tip of it is melted, just dissolved.
Yes.
Will, fuck.
I think I have a javelin if you want it.
Sure. That is Vice's
Just
turn.
leans her back towards
Alright.
Vice, ready for when she wants to grab it.
Alright. 9 points of damage to Vice, and Vice did 16 points of damage to that one. Next in the order is the oil workers. So they begin to pull away from this pit. Esme directs her workers to just kind of move and take cover. They seem very happy to let you guys deal with the mess that you've made. And then over towards this other pit, you see a few workers are climbing out of it where this oil ooze is emerging from. So just stepping back, letting you do what you're doing. Awaish, we are back to the top of the order with you.
They could have
All
warned
right.
us about magic, you know? They could have said, hey.
Okay. See this deadwood tree in front of me?
Yes.
Are there branches and sticks around it?
Plenty.
I'm about to do something stupid. Kind of saw that magic does work Eldritch Blast-wise, but worried about accidentally strengthening it through using the magic. And so what Awaish is going to do is quickly look and assess where the larger branches of this tree have fallen to the ground, see how much of those fall within a straight line, and then cast lightning bolt in the direction of this tree.
Okay, so trying to hit it with lightning damage, or
Now,
hit
here's
it...
the thing.
Yes.
In the description of the lightning bolt spell, lightning ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. So my plan here is to ignite the branches on the ground, take one up, and slam it into the creature.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely can do. So you're definitely hitting the tree. I'm just gonna say that this works. So the lightning crackles off of your fingers, and the base of the tree here, where some of the, not the actual ooze, but some of the oil itself has kind of like, collected, immediately begin to just flicker with these sort of like white flames. Especially for magic spells that set things on fire, this material seems particularly flammable. Like a
Awesome.
long burning resource if set by magic. And actually, could you give me either a history or an arcana check as you do this?
Absolutely. You know I love to roll history or arcana. Okay. That is an 18.
An 18. You have seen lanterns on ships that do not extinguish. Magic lanterns. The material that they are fueled by is not regular oil. I don't think it's something you're super familiar with or something that you've used a lot of, but Falconry is known to be a dangerous place, but also a place where one can become quite wealthy. If this material is long burning, especially when set on fire by magic, it might be a great resource for making something like an ever-burning lantern.
Interesting. All right. And that's technically my action on my turn. So maybe I'll just take a bonus action to pick up one of these flaming branches.
Picking up an object is definitely a free action. So
Okay.
you just pick it up.
And it's burning, so I'm guessing it might fuck me up a little bit, but I am willing to do that. And on my next turn, I suppose I'll swing out. And then I move through Tazriel. Don't know why that said 15. Oh, 15 feet because it's difficult terrain to move through someone. To kind of engage here, trying to get in the way. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
brandishing this flame, trying to get this thing's attention.
Okay, that is your turn. If you want to add a wood torch to your inventory on Multiverse, you're welcome to do so. Darren, yeah.
I would love to, but mine is different right now, so I don't know where to click.
You can still click on your character and pull out your character studio.
Okay. This is so
Darren
embarrassing.
is
Everyone
going to
can see what I'm doing. That's my character.
Darren's turn. He moves
with
and
me.
stays with you. Taz, it's your go.
Yep, I was on mute. Okay, so the boy is going to come over here and reposition himself so he has advantage on these attacks. On his 2 attacks. Ah! Okay, right there, and it's gonna make 2 attacks. 2 attacks with advantage. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay, so the first one is a 24, and the second one is a natural 20, Alex. I am going to do my sneak attack, obviously, on the second one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be D8, a D4, and 8 D6.
Okay.
Okay.
You are so lucky that I'm not counting these as melee attacks. I know they're technically melee attacks, but it just doesn't make sense that using a psychic dagger would cause flashbacks, so I'm not going to do it. That is
Love
my
you, Alex.
ruling.
I appreciate you so much.
That sounds like a handful over there. Are you sure you want to roll that many?
That's too
That's a
many.
good sound.
Okay.
Math on the fly.
Math on the fly. I hate it here. Okay.
Oh, burning tree.
Oh, burning tree. Oh, burning tree. How lit up
Big
are
numbers.
your branches?
Here we go.
34
thing
points of
about-
psychic damage.
34 points of damage. You are very much dissuading this thing from attacking. Taz, give me a spicy description of how you hit this thing.
Yeah, so because of course Taz is doing his melee attacks and not just throwing them out like he's allowed to. He's got the short sword and the dagger psionic blades out, and I think the man might be doing like kind of like a whirling dervish with these two right now, like has his hands connected like this and just like whoosh, and just cutting at various parts of the body.
Okay. Dagger. Dagger. And that is your turn, Tazrael. Anything else?
Nope, that is my full turn.
Okay. It is back to the Black Pudding's turn. So the one that is by Neve, Taz, and Oesh, these pseudopods kind of reaching up and out. One is going to strike towards Taz. That is a 22 to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
And then one towards Neve with a 14 to hit, which will hit.
Alex, hey, Alex.
Yes.
Could I don't actually have a reaction that lets me do this, but
No.
could I do something as a reaction to get to target me with both attacks?
Alex is banking on this angst right now.
If you do not have an actual reaction, that usually tends to be a feature of like a special feat or
Yeah.
a class. So I'm always down to try and do things like that, but I think in this case, it would be difficult. Gotcha. So Taz, as the pseudopod wraps around you, you take 6 points of bludgeoning and is 9 is 19 points of acid.
Oh my god.
okay.
Oh my god.
that is a third of my hit points. Alex, then since I can't mechanically do it, I'll say flavor wise, Taz is very clearly trying to get this creature to focus.
You can hellish rebuke if you can hellish rebuke.
I'm not doing that. No, my psychic magic is fine, but he's I think he's like, as he sees it about to go hit Neve, he's just, hey, I'm the one that's doing all the damage over here. Deal with me.
Okay, it wraps around Neve. That is okay. Which, like the first thing kind of wraps around her ankle, pulling her closer. And then the additional acid damage. Let's roll. 2 plus 8 plus 2 is 12. Okay, not so bad. So, Neve is just kind of pulled into the embrace of this thing and then falls down into the snow. She is unconscious.
Hooah!
Taz, your armor is damaged. You currently have a -1 penalty to your armor. These things, let's see how fast they can move. Speed 20 feet. This guy over here is going to, I think, pull its way towards your cart. Maybe go chow down on some tasty wood. And then the one in front of Barden, the two in front of Barden and Vice are going to make their separate attacks. Now, both of these are pretty small at this point from the damage you have dealt to them. So they're not like one big, thick, large creature, but they still do the same amount of damage. So with advantage on you, Barden, that is... I rolled a 6 twice. 11 to hit you. Nope. And then again on you, a 1 and a 2 with advantage. That is not going to hit. Then the second creature goes 1 towards Vice, which will hit, and a final one towards Barden. Thank God, with a 21 to hit you.
Can I use my reaction, please?
Yes.
A creature within 10 feet of you hits your attack roll, you can use your reaction to swipe your tail, roll a d8, applying a bonus to your AC equal to that number rolled.
Okay, yeah.
I've never gotten to use it. Oh, a +8. 21.
That...
Wait, no. 16 plus 8. 24. Fuck, yeah.
As a pseudopod reaches towards you, your tail just sort of... like kind of cracks it in half and some of the oil just falls down and drips, so you are not going to get hit. That is
like
excellent. Vice takes... Let me just roll here since it's a lot of... Let's see, roll D6.
I think when Barden does that, there is just like this momentary like flicker to them as a changeling, but on Barden's face where it's like... just like, little angry boy.
Okay. And Vice takes... That's a lot of damage.
Oh, jeez.
Plus...
No, Vice. Give it to me.
Just sort of staggers back with 26 points of damage.
Shit.
Kiara, I need your help. Please. And that is their go. Next is Neve. Okay, and then Kiara.
Listen, I know I suggested that you don't tell us what the death saving rolls are, but that's a rude place to implement that for the first time.
Kiara looks towards Neve, looks towards Vice, who's just called for help. And Vice is connected to us mentally, right?
Yes.
Kiara is going to say, Neve is down, I have to go help her. And is going to run towards where Neve's on the ground.
There's sort of a huff of, assertion.
Do
doesn't-
you
it's
say
not
that
gonna
just
take
to
insult
Vice,
that.
right?
No, Kiara doesn't have the presence of mind to do that. That's on the group
This
chat.
group chat as well is I would say kind of collectively connected.
I do feel like you can make the decision as you like. This isn't me telling you you have to do something, but I think a wish hearing that would say, we're fine, don't touch us. And you can do whatever you'd like.
Yeah, Kiara. Kiara's gonna ignore Owesh because that's Owesh's boundary, not Neve's.
Yes.
And
And
is
I'm going
to
to give you a point of inspiration, Pooja.
That's hot.
Because I like that character decision.
Well, thank you. And Kiara is going to run. I can't. Let's see.
Oh, let me make it. Sorry, Kiara. Nope. Oh, no. Okay. Take a deep breath. One more multiverse. I love you so. But it is Kiara's turn. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Kiara is going to. I can get within 30 feet. I can get to Neve by 30 feet, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Kiara's gonna come around the other side.
I will scoot you over there.
Oh, thank you. And
Just between the trees.
going to get on her knees onto the ground where Neve is, and put one hand like right under the neck, and cast a second level Cure Wounds.
Okay. Now, I think I mentioned this in the past, but I'm going to say it again. If you want to, you can not only expend inspiration to get advantage on a roll, or potentially to, like gain back certain kind of spell slots or abilities. If you want to expend a point of inspiration, I will allow you to just do max healing on a healing spell.
Okay, I will do that. Here's the question. I know you do. Do I still get an extra die for
Yep.
for your base level? Okay, so then that's going to be 3d8 plus 4.
Mhm.
So that's going to be 28 points
Yep.
of healing to Neve.
28 points of healing. Every sizzled patch, every flush or bit of smoke that's issuing from Neve just kind of fizzles, basically. It's like you've rolled back time. Even her clothing, where it's been damaged here, actually repairs itself. And you can see the skin grows back over. There's this rosy flush. You have pumped her full of vitality. And Neve's eyes open with sort of a gasp. You can see a little bit of smoke come out of her mouth. Not the black smoke, but more of this warm incense puff as her eyes blink open, and she just kind of sits up in your arms.
You're okay.
Wow.
You're okay.
That's your action.
And then I can use a channel divinity. What is it?
Yes.
Is using channel divinity bonus action or action? No, it's in my bonus action tab. Okay, I will like to expend one of my uses of channel divinity to get a second level spell slot back.
Yes, that would be the bonus action one.
Okay. Since I can't do anything else with my bonus action, I'll just do that.
Mm-hmm. That is, you use your movement, bonus action, and action. Next in the order after Kiara is that guy should not be there. Sorry. So it is Barton's turn.
I am gonna make sure Vice step back first. I imagine she stepped back a bit. Oh, I feel bad. Sorry, I can just see that there's a guy by our cart, and I feel bad about it. I think Bard's just maybe trying those. Also, I sent you a message.
Oh, yes, I'll take a look at
Could
that.
you just look at that and then see if that's...
That Vice could... Vice could use it, but it would not be super useful for her.
Okay. I was just thinking
If you
because...
pass it to her, she can roll with it, but it's not a dex-based weapon, basically.
Yeah, it's just the aspect of it that it's... wouldn't corrode? According to the description?
Actually, let's just say it for everyone to
Yeah.
see. So, Barden has the fossil blade that you guys found at the bottom of the ocean, which is a blade that specifically does not break or corrode. It can't be broken. So it's not magical, but it wouldn't be affected at all by these slimes.
Nice.
I think she does. Would that take an action to pass it?
No, I'm gonna say that you can pass it as a free action.
She passes it. She's like, I know this isn't as light as usually do, but it shouldn't break. So just for now.
That's fine by me. Takes this sort of like long, sharpened, fossilized, grown over blade into
like,
2 hands.
Got ridges in it, like proper ancient mace looking.
Actually, I mean, yeah. Vice is a fighter. She just has higher dexterity, but she's still proficient in using these. So
yeah. And I think she'll be like, maybe the cart, if you can, and get to Kiara on your way. I can deal with this, and I'm going to double attack, baby.
Okay.
Should I advance it? Nah, I'll just do normal. I'll just do normal for the minute. Oh, that's such a shame, because that's a nat 1. Yeah, I can't advantage after getting a nat 1. That's a shitty thing to do.
No, you can. Listen, a reckless attack is a barbarian main feature. If you want to attack recklessly, I still get to attack you with advantage. So, like, do your main thing.
Well, that
and
was
live
a
your
14.
days. A 14 will hit.
Okay. So 14 double-handed. Like, if I kill it before it gets me, then it's fine, right? I don't have to. It doesn't matter. That's a 12. So I'm gonna go for one tendril and then another.
Okay. You slash through one tendril for 12 damage. You take 4 points of acid damage in response as you hit it with a melee attack.
Yep. I'm gonna be... Oh, my poor coat. I'm just gonna get Kiara to be like, Kiara, can you mend my coat? And then that's a 28. I think that'll be
28
fine.
will also hit.
Man, I miss playing Barden. I forgot how good she was for this. And that's a 15.
And you cut through the second tendril of this with a feeble splash of 3 points of acid damage. And the smaller slime just kind of dissolves away. You can see the oil just kind of falls to the ground. Whatever essence, magical, or that has summoned it, has dissolved it. There's still another smaller one there, but you have taken this one out.
Alright, that's my 2 actions. I think there's just like a moment of still holding the blade, but like wiping the acid off her face, just like, come on, again.
All right, that is your turn, Barden. You are still raging since you attacked and were attacked. After
Tail
that,
sort of like whipping behind her.
It is Vice's turn. I think Vice... I am not a coward. Kind of climbs along the rocks with the fossil longsword that you've passed to her so she can get into the range of this thing, and then is going to attack with it. So it's just a regular longsword. She does usually use a shield, I believe. No, does not usually use a shield, but she does have a breastplate. So two-handed is going to attack with this longsword. That first one will hit because these things have terrible AC, and then a second attack will also hit. So on the first attack, remind me, a longsword does...
It's 1d10 plus 5.
Okay. and she's using both hands, so we'll definitely use the 1d10. 2 plus 3 is 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 13. So 13
7
points
plus
of
5.
damage. And she will expend another superiority dice to pump this thing with some more damage. So let's do a distracting strike. Yep. Expending another superiority dice, which is a d8 now. Excellent. Which is enough. Let's see, this thing has... Which is enough to cut through the second slime here. So with the longsword, just slash through it. It attempts to use its reaction to split again, but then just kind of splits and falls. For her 2 attacks, she is going to take 5. Oh, that was a lucky roll. Vice takes 6 points of acid damage, just doubles over, coughing, like spitting out some of the ooze that's in her mouth. She is at 1 hit point.
Oh my god.
And then is going to use her bonus action to second wind.
Yeah.
What does that
hot,
do for people
hot
that don't know
fighter.
A fighter can, once per short rest, which means very often, roll a d10 and regain 1d10 plus their fighter level HP. So she actually regains 14 hit points. Sort of
Oh, thank
I
God.
love
What were we gonna
fighters,
talk about?
man.
She died without
that?
and rallying
Cotton's
herself.
just like no cards here, but good to see you up.
Okay, and then steps back away from the edge of the pit. That is
God.
Vice's turn. After Vice, the oil workers continue to move away. I think, seeing that you're mostly not using magic, just sort of gestures to Barden. That blade seems fairly effective. And back to Awaish.
She likes my
Oh.
blade.
There we go. I couldn't figure out if I was muted or not. Sloane's microphone is an unknowable being. Okay. Technically in Raw, I don't think this can be done, but I would like to do it. Neve is prone currently, correct?
Yes.
I want Awaish to move directly into Neve's space and throw themselves over her.
I will very much allow it. This could be considered, if you spend either your movement or your action, I will allow you to act as if Neve had taken the dodge action. So Neve would have disadvantage on any attacks made against her.
Yeah, I'll use all my movement for it. Awaish is kind of like spider over kind of thing, and that kind of protective movement, so they're still facing the thing, but they are now over Neve. Oh, you can share a score with a prone ally. Nice. Hell yeah. And then we'll use their action to shove this fire into this creature.
Okay. Give me a attack using your dexterity,
Okay.
but not your proficiency.
Sure thing. So that's just the +2. Come on, baby. Okay, that's a 12.
A 12 will hit.
Amazing. What kind of damage am I rolling for? Stick with magical fire on it.
Stick with fire on it. Will you roll 2d6 for me?
Sure. Absolutely. 6 damage.
Okay. It's actually going to do 8 damage because these guys are a little bit more susceptible to
Hell yeah.
fire. Damage. and it is not taking lightning, anything like that. You are making a melee attack as a wizard. So,
Yes.
Awaish, you
The things we
take
do for the people we love.
7 points of acid damage.
Okay.
It sizzles across your skin.
Oh, there's a number lock on. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, there we go. 7 points of
And-
acid damage.
That is your action and your movement. You are just like over Neve, who I think just kind of scoots away. Does not seem is not frustrated by this. Is not defensive or anything like that. Seems pretty startled by what's happened. So, anything else you want to do, or direct Aaron to do?
I think for now that's it.
Okay. I think Darren, kind of taking a page out of your book, continuing to stay on you, he's going to slam down his pages onto this thing.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, I think he would do that.
Yeah.
I've got this.
Oh.
And
1 second again.
that is, he rolled a 5, but his slam is, I think, +3, right?
Yes, I believe so. Sorry, I'm altering some things in One More Multiverse for Oish. There we go.
No, you're all good. I think it's a +3 or +4 since he is proficient with slamming, but that is enough to hit. These things have an AC
Good
of 7.
job, buddy. Yeah, +3 to hit.
Okay, and how much damage does his slam do?
1d4 + 1.
Okay, he
Tiny
cares so
little
much.
magic missile.
At some point, he'll get better at doing that, probably. But okay, that is going to be 2 points of bludgeoning.
Good job, buddy.
And you know what I'm gonna say? He's only gonna take 1 point of acid damage.
Yay!
He's also magical, so it's not going to corrode him. Oh, actually, you're not wearing any armor, are you, Awaish? Your armor is entirely magical?
My armor is totally magical, yeah.
Okay, excellent. The use of plunging this stick into the creature has halfway melted it. It extinguishes the fire. It corrodes whatever weapon hits it, so you can only do that once unless you want to pick up another burning branch.
Sure.
Okay, that is your turn and Darren's turn. Next is Tazriel.
Okay, Alex, how bad does this thing look?
Not great. This was a large creature. It is mostly been reduced down to, I would say, like a fifth of its previous size. It's just kind of, like I said, an octopus before. It's mostly just the tendrils now, not the actual like column of thick black liquid.
Okay, all right. Then first, just gonna straight up do a first attack, which Oasis then is adjacent. Do I have it?
Yes,
do I have? Okay. Yeah.
You are Oasis moved into where Neve was. You are still flanking.
Cool. Please. Oh, thank God. I rolled a 3 and a 19. So 26 for the first attack.
That will definitely hit.
I will do my... Yeah, I'm going to do my sneak attack on this one.
Nobody wants to do slashing damage to it? Nobody wants to do that?
Why would slashing damage be helpful for you, Alex?
The only time I use slashing damage is when my psionics don't work. So you really just gotta... You really shot yourself in the foot. Oh, yeah, get fucked. Okay, 5, 10, 16, 20, 4, 7, 29 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Is it still up?
No. It's not a humanoid. What does your fracturing say? Is it just to defeat someone with psionic damage?
God, I hope not. Hold on, Alex, let me find it.
While you're doing that, I will remove this thing. I'm going to work some black magic over here. There we go. Make sure I still have. Excellent. Okay. The hole, the crack that this thing had emerged from, there's still like some fiery bits smoking off of the tree that you've set on fire, which is still burning quite effectively. Might become a problem as well if you don't catch that. But the ooze that was here is there no longer. There's just like smoke and soot and drippings in the white snow, but some of the snow is actually melted away from the fire, just leaving like patches of dirt actually visible.
Okay, Alex, I'm still looking for the fracturing, but with my second attack and my movement, I am going to like come right here and throw a psionic dagger at this thing that's right by our cart.
Okay.
And
another flash of this sort of green-blue energy that is very familiar to you towards this thing.
Is a 12 to hit.
A 12 will hit.
Yeah. Right, and that's just going to be a D4.
Looking for ooze noises.
Ugh. Gross.
I'll turn that off, sorry.
No, it was great. It was gross, though.
Alex, that's going to be 5 points of psychic damage. And
okay.
I am having the hardest time finding the exact language for my fracturing.
No worries, I will find it. 5 points of damage to this thing that is currently in front of your cart. There we go. And then next in the order, after Tazriel, it is the one remaining ooze's turn. This thing swarms over your sled, your bedrolls, your food. Okay. It has basically engulfed the majority of your supplies, and it's just kind of like sitting on them, oil dripping off of the cart. Which is not great. But that is all that it's doing. It's not going to damage anyone else. Neve's turn. Neve does sort of try to stand up from under you a wayish. I'm okay. I feel great, actually. Thank you, Kiara. Stands up and braces herself against a tree and says, but I'm gonna stay here, and I don't want to get too close to one of those things again. I think maybe just starts kicking some snow onto some of the burning branches by the base of the tree, trying to prevent it from getting out of control or catching on another tree. And it is Kiara, your turn. I think you're muted, Pooja.
That was just me going, because it's on our stuff. If we burn it, we burn our stuff.
Yeah.
If we Eldritch Blast it, we explode our stuff.
Can always do some slashing damage. Alex seems very interested in that.
Do I even have the ability to do slashing damage? No, I have piercing, fire, force, radiant. You know, Kiara's just annoyed at it, and so Kiara is Kiara's gonna toll the dead at it.
Yeah, it is damaged.
Yeah, okay, so it's a wisdom save. Ooze.
A wisdom save.
The famous wisdom of oozes.
Yes.
They were so wise they wouldn't.
All right, I rolled well. It's a 13.
Does not save.
Okay.
And it's gonna take 2d12 necrotic damage. Is it immune to necrotic damage? Let's
It is
find out.
not.
That is 17 necrotic damage.
Okay. I think, let's say this. The black ooze itself just kind of sprouts almost like with these little shoots of white and green, and dirt just like falls out of it. Like regular dirt. Like you've pulled out some of the material of it and burned out whatever oil is in. 17 points, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then let me just check really quickly. Can I? You know what? No, I'm gonna wait to see if we can get out of this, and then see if I can help Vice.
Okay.
Well, okay, no, Vice has
Vice
like
is
14, right?
14, yeah.
Okay. Just trying to see where Vice is on the field.
Vice is all the way over by the other pit. I don't think you can actually see Vice, Kiara.
Okay,
Vice is
never
like
mind.
through the trees, completely out of your line of sight right now.
Well, then that is Kiara's turn.
Okay.
Oh,
next.
that she was like, did that work better than I expected it to, or just to the air? And I guess Neve and Sig are the ones near her.
Oh, actually, oh, thank you, Pooja. Could you roll a d4 for me?
Boo. Boo.
Oh, I
What
rolled
is it?
2. Sorry.
A 2? Okay, no worries. Then it doesn't have any additional effect.
Ah.
It is your turn, Barden.
Okay. Just like, okay, that one. And then hearing the behind her, just like, fuck. Gonna run. Just gonna, okay, let's see if I can get up there. No, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Okay. That's my 40 feet. Bollocks.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
you are not quite close enough.
Boo! Oh, wait. I can do something. As a barbarian, I think. I think I got a new thing. I can move a little bit faster. I think it's like 10 foot or something.
I think that's what's giving you 40 feet right now, I believe.
Poop.
Yeah, because the rest of us have 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait. 10-foot reach of my tail, though.
That's true. You do have 10-foot reach on your tail, which would be enough to hit it.
Yes. Yeah, I think she's just like,
yeah,
fine, and just turns and just I'm just gonna whap 2 attacks.
Okay. I think it's also the first time you've attacked with. No, you've attacked with your tail before.
Yeah,
and it is
that was in the bed.
+8 to hit because you're so goddamn strong.
Goddamn strong.
Okay, give me those rolls, and once again, are you attacking recklessly?
Yeah.
Okay.
As I've said in chat, it can't attack me back if it's dead. That's a 19.
19 will hit.
Piercing damage as well. Mwah. That's 9.
All right.
So that's 9 damage. So rather than a slap, it's more like a stinger. So just like it's all loose and then like creepy bug. Yes.
Excellent. And just tell me that 9 you roll in D&D Beyond, right? Does it say 1d8 plus 5 or 1d8 plus 7?
It says 1d8 plus 5.
Okay, add another 2 damage to that. You are using your strength on your tail, and you are raging.
Oh.
And we haven't been able to set that up yet, but you should be doing that extra 2 points.
So that's 11.
So, 11 points of your tail does piercing damage, which is not slashing.
Nope.
So, very good. Very excellent.
That's great, Shan. I love that for you.
11 points of damage. You're not within 5 feet, so you do not take splashback.
Sexy. Hey! And ooh, that is a 22.
Definitely hits.
Okay, and that is That's 15 damage, baby.
15 plus with the
I'm just
extra
imagining.
plus 2.
Yeah, that's +2.
Perfect.
I'm just imagining there are like little ridges along Novel's tail. So the idea is like it's one way. You know, like how an arrowhead is pointing in one way, so when you pull it out, it's extra damage. It's like
Yeah.
that. Barbed.
Definitely Barb. Oh, actually, I will say the effect on
sorry.
Black Pudding says a creature that touches the pudding or hits it with a melee attack. So I am going to say that you will take the acid damage because you are using your tail to hit
That's
it.
fine.
So, okay, cool.
I can take that.
And then you will take total of 3 points of acid damage from the 2 strikes. From its corrosive
So
form.
sorry to everyone who's taking so much damage, and me, the barbarian, has only taken like 10.
I haven't taken much. You're good.
That's true. You're still raging because you attacked, so
Yep.
I'm gonna say that's your turn.
Is it still going?
It's still going. This one hasn't. This is it was only hit by Kiara's spell and your tail. It
Okay.
hasn't been attacked.
I think the last thing that Barden does is, like getting the sword back in front of her, ready to hit with that, and just like, everyone back to the cart! It's fucked up the supplies! Shit!
Okay. After that, it's not their turn. Vice is going to make her way back to the cart as well. Oh, I've trapped her. There we are. No. Just kind of slowly, I think, not limping, but does seem to be kind of taking her time because it takes her entire movement and her action to get up to the other side of this creature. And that's Vice's go. The oil workers, I think, are kind of moving towards your cart at this point. They seem to have abandoned their work necessarily, but are keeping a careful eye out to see if anything else is emerging from the pits. It's not that they're completely ignoring you. Like, some of them had gone for some of their actual picks. Some of them had gone for some of the protective material, but it seems like you guys are handling it, so they're not getting into close quarters. And then after the oil workers, we are back to the top of the order with Oish.
Well, nothing's threatening me right now, and normally that means that I would be like, oh, there's a cart that's getting damaged. But I think in this circumstance, Oish just strides over to wherever Neve is. If Neve is getting close to a larger flame, will pull her away from it, or attempt to, and is also trying to keep quite a distance from Kiara for reasons yet unexplained. But seems to just be very, I'm not fucking with any more of this. This is what I'm doing right now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to help me put out the fire?
Oish, without even looking at it, just reaches out a hand and prestidigitates one of the flames away. Yeah.
Just... Okay. You're
Can
keeping
be...
it stalled.
Yeah, up to a small campfire they can quench with prestidigitation.
That's Oish's turn. Next, we are Darren. I think is kind of following your lead. He's done that, just wrapped around you. I'm not really talking. And Taz, it's back to you.
All right. God. He's not gonna get closer because he does not want to potentially get acid damage or get doesn't want to get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna make his 2 attacks from where he is, just throwing D8 and his D6 and his D4 down. Okay. Alex, I have a natural 20. I hate that it is
Wow.
not with sneak attack though. So
Damn.
natural 20 and a 22.
Both will hit.
Yep.
Still
That was the
love that
saddest
damage.
declaration of a natural 20 I've
I know.
Oh.
I didn't get to roll my 8d8. It's sad.
Chris,
Aw.
in combat for the
poor
rogue.
baby.
So
Poor
sad.
baby.
The poor rogue. Oh, but I rolled really good damage.
Little green triangle particle effects, and I really like them for the psychic.
19 points of psychic damage, Alex.
All right, 19 points. Flinging the daggers through, just kind of cutting through, and then it just like droops in places where you sweep through. That is 19 points of damage. It is still up, but barely. Hasn't been able to split. It's just kind of a thin black coating that's pulsating on top of your cart. All right, that's your turn, Taz.
Yep.
It is now the Black Pudding's turn once again. The Black Pudding can, let's see, the pudding can eat through 2-inch thick non-magical wood or metal in 1 round. So in 1 round, it just kind of like dissolves through the base of the sled, basically. Like the thing that's holding the Arkhams to it, the wheels, all of that, the majority just kind of like eats through and pools down into the snow beneath. You can see things have fallen through. It seems like the things that have mostly survived are your like magical tents and cloaks. They're eaten at, but they're not like destroyed. But the cart itself is like a shell, basically. You just have like some of the walls. It takes this entire round to fuck up your shit. And now it's back to Neve, who continues to put out the fire. Kiara.
Kiara will look at Neve and say, just take a look at Neve, and Neve doesn't look injured or hurt anymore, right? Like, she looks great?
No, she looks great.
Kiara will look at Neve and say, I think your earlier question just got answered. And then we'll start moving towards the cart, but not too, probably like 10 feet that way.
Yeah,
Like,
I will say you definitely need to get closer. This thing is, it's kind of, it's not really prone, but it is on the ground. So if you don't get closer to it, it will have cover from being under the cart.
Kiara will move as close. Well, so given how well Toll the Dead worked, she's just doing that again. She does have a 60-foot range, and it has to make a dex save. So she's gonna move closer because we need to move closer to kind of save this stuff after. But yeah, she's just gonna go another dex save for 8.
That is a natural 1. If you want to double the damage on that, I will allow it. It has a -2, so it's a -1.
So that's 18 on the first 2, plus 8.
Okay.
26.
Kiara, please describe for me how you destroy the final ooze here.
So the Toll the Dead makes the sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the sound of the temple bells erupt again as just bursts of soil come puffing out of it, essentially destroying itself. Essentially, it looks like it destroys itself in a like little puff of fireworks made of soil and just a little bit of sparkling light. But it's all visual only, and it just, I think, kind of just like goes and just rolls out to be inert soil.
Yeah, and we are out of initiative.
Thank goodness.
I will say the fire on that tree, Oasia and Eve are keeping it at bay. You are in a forest, and this entire area is an oil field.
Yeah. If we're out of initiative, Kiara would immediately, once that thing is dealt with, and if it looks like Barden and like Taz are taking care of the supplies, Kiara would go to help with putting out the fire.
Yeah.
I checked with everyone in the chat already, but I want to additionally check with you, Alex. If you are good for a Weish to be a little bit pretty angry and harsh, because that will be directed to you as Neve.
Please do.
Okay. The minute all of this seems to calm, even with the fire burning in the tree in front or behind them, Owesh kind of takes Neve and says, "What happened? What did you two do?"
I think that this is more important than that.
Don't look at that. Answer my question.
Neve kind of spins away from the tree and like kicks some of the burning twigs. We were just looking at it.
Just looking at it.
Yeah, I was trying to... I can do some of what you showed me. I figured it out, it's working. And I was trying to see what that stuff is, because learning about things here is important to this expedition, right? You're researchers.
Don't try to appeal to that now. You are not to go off alone with her again. I'm sorry.
Kiara helped me. What? Kiara helped me. And thank you, Kiara.
How in earshot is Kiara for this?
You are all putting out this fire.
You're right there. Yeah.
Okay, so Raish definitely said you are not to go off with her alone again with Kiara right there. Cool!
Yeah.
No.
Totally.
Kiara's not gonna say anything, but Kiara does make eye contact with Neve and like nod. It's the like, you're getting yelled at by your parent, but you're still cool. We're cool, it's fine.
Yeah. You're a very talented healer. I've never felt something like that before.
Oash's head kind of just cranes over to Kiara, as if daring her to respond in this moment.
Oh, she will. She'll say, I'm just glad I could help you when it mattered.
Sig, it's okay. I'm fine, and I'm sorry.
What am I supposed to do if I lose you?
I'm not just yours to lose.
You're not. That's exactly what I am saying.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll be careful.
We need to put this out. If you are leaving from the party again, you tell me and I come with you.
Go to the... I was only 10 or so feet away.
And Oace just kind of realizing that they are not in the right here, but not in the place emotionally to be in the right, just fully turns away and starts working on extinguishing this fire.
I'm gonna go look at the supplies. Oh no, our potatoes.
Oh no, our potatoes. Oash will use Ray of Frost just to begin to ice out this fire.
I think
Ta-
I think Barden, if Taz and
Baz?
Barden, that's their name.
Aww.
Cute.
Tovel?
no.
Novriel.
Cute.
That works. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna be like, you might want to look after the what are the goats called again?
Arca.
The goats. The goats. They won't like me. I can start trying to sort things out.
Yeah, then I think, Taz will like take some time and just go up to each of them, kind of check them out, ruffle them under the, give them some comforting after this, making sure they're okay.
No animals were harmed in the making of this combat.
Yeah.
What's are the supplies covered in gunk?
They're not covered in gunk, they're just eaten.
So
So,
is it like half a potato? Is it like half a ration
basically,
left?
I'm gonna say that whatever rations you have had on your persons, you all now have 1 day's rations. That's all that you have left. In terms of, like, other supplies, I know you carry, like, your valuables in your chest of golding, anything like that, but any non-magical blankets, pillows, extra clothes, anything like that, this is a massive blow to all the things that you have gathered and taken here with you. You need to restock to continue. Also, the cart, you can't, the sled, you can't sit in it or ride in it. It's just like the wooden slats that pull it in the snow and like kind of part of the side. You're lucky that it didn't get entirely eaten. This thing only had 1 round of actually just chomping, so it didn't entirely destroy the sled. You just cannot ride in it. If you repair the bottom of it,
the box.
yeah,
frame.
you have like the box frame basically.
Okay, we could bodge something to go on top. We could do that.
Oash can also, at a future point, can mend any of the magical things that kind of got
Yeah,
a
that's
little
what I was
munched.
Yes.
It
Barden,
can't
like,
restore
can't
magic,
pass
but as
that
long,
along.
as long as the magic hasn't been lost, they can at least fix the item.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say again, 1 round, since I'm killing basically your food supplies and a majority of your other things, your magical gear has not been damaged to a point the mending can't repair it.
Great.
Okay. So we're down. We might have to definitely take them up on lunch because our rations are fucked.
Some of the workers and Esme have kind of half approached. They're not getting super close to your supplies and cart or anything like that, but just a few of them. None of them were damaged or anything,
Everyone okay?
Yes, we're fine. There were no injuries to our crew. We've dealt with a few of these before. Usually we just abandon any pits that they come out of. It's best not to fight directly.
Well, at least you'll be able to work here still. That's something, at least.
Yes, I think after what's happened, we will probably just return to the refinery.
We might have to join you, maybe, because those troublesome little things decided to eat all our rations. Do you think there's a chance of us stocking up there? Obviously
Well,
paying, but...
I'm assuming you were here for the market. Or at least traveling towards.
But
So, yes.
you'd know better.
These NPCs generally seem pretty neutral towards you guys. You haven't done anything to catch their ire, but also you, caused the disturbance, cleaned up the disturbance. Haven't been rude,
Yeah.
anything like that. So, kind of just like gauging what's happened here, maybe they would feel sympathy, but you are in the wastes.
Yeah.
So, Esme just kind of gives sort of a shrug and a nod. Your best bet is to continue your way towards Ferris Pass. You're welcome to travel ahead or behind us. I'm not sure we'll be able to keep the same pace depending on how affected your cargo is. But I will tell you, you are coming up on a market day, and you should be able to find some things you need there.
Thank you. Really appreciate the knowledge. And again, we're all sorry that this happened to you, but glad no one got hurt.
We're fine. I will give the advice, though. Certain kinds of magic users might be frowned upon, especially near the refinery, considering what you could do to their stock.
So is it that the stock grows or it eats it?
Strange manifestations when magic comes in contact.
Okay.
Not always these creatures, but I've seen many other kinds of effects. Usually magic is forbidden within a certain radius of the refinery itself.
All kinds of magic or specific type?
I don't know enough about magic myself to be able to distinguish.
Neither do I. Just I'll keep an eye on him, don't worry.
Yes, but
Trying to be vaguely charming. Trying to make her laugh.
I think, considering the disturbance that has been caused here and the magic that was used to keep these creatures at bay, it might be best if we make our way towards there now instead of later in the evening. You said you were pursued by creatures that bite?
Yeah, we happened to come across some gnolls.
The Howlpacks have been a bit more ferocious recently. Usually don't come too close to towns themselves, but we've heard word of travelers along these routes being attacked.
Yeah, we met someone who met an equally sad fate. But yes, maybe traveling together, in groups.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Barden just like steps into the empty box of their sledge, like, we might be a bit slower. But we'll work it out. Just let us get the group together and...
There's no snow, so you can follow our footprints.
Thank you, Esme. Puts a hand out. Really appreciate your time.
And then gives you a quick professional shake. Best of luck. Let's gather up what we've got here. We still have enough to sell. And they kind of step away and finish up, like pulling ladders, picks, bags, etc. away from these pits, and then just kind of like scuff some snow into them, which tampers down the smoke a little bit. It doesn't stop it, but makes this place a little less obvious.
Gonna voice call everyone. Be like, and basically, we're gonna head towards the refinery to get more supplies. Basically, what happened.
Oasis just joins in that very awkward, like when you're specifically, I don't know if this is a vibe everyone has, specifically when your dad loses his temper at you and he knows that he's done something wrong, but he doesn't like have the emotional capacity to immediately be like, I fucked up here. Very quiet, not making eye contact with anyone, just gets on the horse again and gets ready to go.
Definitely.
Looks like we're gonna be walking.
I mean,
which is fine, which is great. I can walk.
Barden is already like pushing Neve towards one of the the goats. Like, no.
No. I feel great actually. Like
Are you sure?
I have like hyper. Like I have too much energy. I have to.
I mean,
I feel
that's
like I
nice.
should walk it off.
Neve, can I? Do you mind if I take a look? I've never heard anybody get hyper from being healed by me. I mean, Matthias would be jumping off the roofs if that were the case.
Kind of just like turns around, and you heal over twice her total HP with one spell.
Oh.
So like the feeling of someone entirely, any kind of like, I'm tired, I'm cold, my lips are chapped, you know, any of that, gone. Like spa day. You've given Neve a spa day.
She's had a week of 8 hours of sleep. Well, actually, you know what? A week of 9 hours of sleep every night.
Yeah.
I think
The Jurian treatment.
Yeah.
That'd be like hot coals, hot sand. That'd be good stuff. I think before they head out, Barden just sort of like gets the tents and everything that needs mending, and sort of goes up to Awish like, see, like, can I tell the vibes? Like,
I mean, not only can you tell the vibes, I feel like everyone heard this altercation.
Yeah.
We are not far apart.
yeah. I thought we need these mended, if that's all right with you, and it might be a good distraction. Do you think you could do that while you're on the horse?
Distraction.
You know, just from all the fire that just happened. And the yelling. Look, you don't have to. I just thought it might be something to think about instead.
You are very lucky I keep to my promises. Otherwise, your question would be gone. But takes them.
Thank you, Wish.
Sarah, do you mind repeating that? It was really soft for me.
Yeah, Oash said you're lucky I keep to my promises, otherwise your question would be gone. But then takes them and begins to mend.
And then Vice kind of just turns to Tazriel and says, well, it was House Amory, right?
Yes.
For Amory, do you want to lead the way?
Yes. I will lead the way.
Okay.
Are you doing all right? Do you need any patching up?
I'm injured, but I think I'd rather wait for a roof over my head. I don't like to be exposed while we're all feeling the effects of a recent battle.
Understood. Yeah, Taz will get on one of his little guys and lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
Barden's gonna carry the frame of the frickin' sled.
You're gonna just
over
like
one shoulder, like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, like that.
it's
like-
you know, you're strong. It's difficult, but you are moving at a slow pace already, because you know these people ahead of you are moving at a slow pace, and you're not super far from the town. So I'm gonna say, since you're able to like kind of rest and shift shoulder to shoulder, or then strap it to the backs of the goats for like to the dragging bits of the goats for a brief period of time,
I mean,
it's not gonna cause
I doubt
any
it's that
exhaustion.
heavy anymore.
No, but it's a sled that could hold 2 or 3 people, so not that heavy, but just awkward.
Sometimes just pulls it along by a rope.
Yeah. And with that, we are going to end our session there for today. As you guys,
Kiara got fucked up in that fight.
Yeah. Wait, what's your health?
It's a third of full.
Ouch.
I mean, the oil slick just targeted her the first.
Yeah,
couple
that was that
times.
first hit that was pretty intense.
And I want to make sure we leave time for, because I know Pooja, you have to run soon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
being here.
watching.
Shit went to hell the second Matthias
It
wasn't
was
here.
awesome.
Yeah, Matt's gonna be so mad we fucked up his sled.
Oh,
We
I
can
told
fix
Sloan
it.
I was gonna fuck shit up.
Oh, that's good.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much for watching. You can find previous episodes of Strange Hungers on our YouTube channel, Total Party Kiss. Follow our socials for other updates about new shows, upcoming shows, episodes, etc., especially over on Twitter at Total Party Kiss. And I believe that Tragedy of Theologian is airing a special that they were working on that wasn't able to happen last week. So tune in tomorrow at, I think, 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on our Twitch channel to check that out. Thank you to Sarah for stepping in to produce.
Yay!
You did a great job.
Our kid for the
Had to
day.
produce and yell at the same time.
So good, so tasty. And one more multiverse, which brings us these incredible maps, a bunch of sounds, things like that. And Soundtail for our spooky vibes, our combat music, all of that. We feel very lucky to get to use their stuff. Okay, I think that's it because I wanna push us out the door, but we will hopefully see you next week as well. Keep an update on social, but we should see you next week for another episode of Strange Hungers. Thanks for being here and goodbye.
Bye.
Hi.
Hang on, because guess what? I don't know where is the goodbye streak. I know where. Has Sloan made one of these? I don't know if they have, and so I'm just going to the starting. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.